Tuesday. We are live right now on YouTube. Myself, James, live. Perfect. I'm gonna wish you happy birthday,
Why has Triple H been so successful? Why is Triple H running WWE better than Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard on Monday and Friday night? Long-term booking.
What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining us right here on Tuesday night. It is Tuesday Night Titans, episode number 34 for your Tuesday, February 6th, 2024. I am your host, JD from New York. As always, joined by my now uber popular co-host on Tuesday nights and very good friend, Mr. Andrew Baydal. What's going on, man?
what's going on, brother?
Hey, man, I see you riling up the geeks on social media, man.
I wouldn't call them geeks. I think they just need to be educated.
Yeah, I know. A lot of people in the community are uneducated, but that's what you have us for.
A lot of
Absolutely.
Up your background game, fuck's sake.
Yeah, I know. I mean, listen, man, these bedroom streamers, you know. I mean, listen, man, at one point or another, I was a bedroom streamer, but I mean, if you're going to be a voice in the community and throw your weight around, I mean, you got to show it at least. You got to sound it.
Let's get a green screen.
Oh, what? I thought those were looked down upon.
It's better than looking like you're about to star in a porno.
Whoa. This is a PG program sometimes.
Oh, yeah, it is?
Yeah,
Right.
sometimes.
Okay.
I don't know, man. You know, this week hasn't been so PG, honestly. Everybody is riled up, and I know you guys are here to hear us banter about the major news that has taken everybody away from Vince McMahon and his allegations. But I'd rather be talking about this than that, to be quite honest with you. But we got a lot to get into. There was more information leaked today by Mr. Sean Ross Sapp, and we're going to dissect that today. And we're going to get where Drew is coming from on this, because this is legitimately the first time that him and I have been together to talk about all that has happened since Friday Night SmackDown. Holy shit, man. You know, before we get into the typical plugs, I might as well start off hot here with you. I'll give you the floor. What were you thinking when you watched SmackDown on Friday and you heard those words come out of Cody's mouth? I want your title. I want to take everything away from you, but not at WrestleMania. What was your initial reaction?
Somebody said my mic volume's low. So
Is
I
it?
just want to let you know.
Let me fix that right now. Hold on. There you go. Should be a little bit better.
All right. Is it better, guys? All right. Any hoot and hollering. What was I thinking Friday night? I thought to myself, what in the hell did I just watch?
Yeah.
Truthfully.
Yeah.
The creative standpoint was absolutely ridiculous. The booking standpoint was absolutely ridiculous. They completely devalued the World Heavyweight Championship I mean, it's always not been the title, but right then and there, it was like, okay. They played a package where it was like, do you want to be Terry Funk or do you want to be Sid? It's like, what? What?
Listen, man, I love me some Psycho Sid, but we're not talking about fucking Psycho Sid.
It was over in 1996 at the Garden. I was there, trust me. But what I'm saying is, like, Cody just coming out and being like, hey, Rock, take my shot. I don't care. I'll come get it later. Stupid. Cody winning the Rumble and doing this was stupid.
Yeah.
They could have done so many different things, but Friday left me sitting back being like, I understand the business. I understand how much of a megastar, how much big business Dwayne The Rock Johnson is. He is the biggest star in Hollywood, stepping into a WWE ring and having a match with his cousin for the head of the table and probably the undisputed WWE championship. And last time I checked, Cody Rhodes is not friggin' Samoan. So he has no business in this match at all now that he's passed. I don't want him in a triple threat. I don't want double duty, which we'll get to. I want none of that. But what I saw Friday night,
whoa. You don't want double duty at WrestleMania. No. We'll get into that, because that's where I'm kind of leading as far as my opinion is concerned.
No. It was a bad, like, Friday left a bad taste in my mouth. It left a bad taste in a lot of other people's mouths, it seemed. And I just thought it was convoluted and stupid booking. But I get the business behind it. But Cody just saying, I'm coming for that title, but not now.
Now I'll take a rain check for some unknown Saturday night's main event show that isn't announced yet.
Whoa. First of all, let me tell you this.
I'll take a rain check at SummerSlam, pal.
I'll tell you this, okay? Saturday night's main event live on NBC from the Garden.
Yeah, I know. I know.
There.
Listen, yeah, we can go. That's
With
great.
bells
But
on.
it's not announced yet. You know, I didn't like the fact that they treated their biggest babyface as a fucking geek. Cody Rhodes is the biggest babyface in the company, and he's the most over babyface since, I would say, I don't know, you want to go back to, everybody's comparing him to John Cena. I mean, he does so much for the company already in the 2 years he's been back. He's just modeled himself as that guy, that type of, John Cena-esque leader. You made him look like
they made everybody look dumb besides Roman in that segment. Everybody. They made
I know
Rock look dumb.
they buried everything. They buried Seth. They buried the title that Seth holds. They buried the Royal Rumble. They buried Cody. I mean, the logic of everything happening now and them trying to make sense of it, making sense this year is fucking bullshit. Like, Rock doesn't fit.
Bad. They made Rock look bad. If this was the plan, because everybody and their mother's saying online that they knew that Rock and Roman was like backstage, all this stuff, bullshit. If that was the plan, in my opinion, then the Rock should have won the Royal Rumble. And if he didn't want to win the Royal Rumble because he's like, I can't get in the Royal Rumble, I'm not ready yet, then you just tell Rock, hey, listen, I mean, I know you're on the board here, bud, but if you can't come in here at 30 and throw two jabronis over the top rope, then I don't know what to tell you. But I mean, If they knew this before they got to the Rumble, which I find very hard to believe, then Rock should have won the Royal Rumble.
Absolutely, but Rock didn't want to work the Royal Rumble.
I don't know if Rock didn't want to win the Royal Rumble. This wasn't the plan. I mean, I will tell you this right now. A lot of you on social media and online and other entities have no idea what the word work means, and you sound like a bunch of idiots.
No, this shit pissed me off this week. You're being worked, man. Like, what are you talking about? How could we be worked when The Rock planned this from January 3rd for this to take place at WrestleMania? This is just them shooting themselves, missing big, and now trying to convince you that, hey, man, we're going to work you. But that's not the way it ended up. This is not a work. Right. This is a shoot that now WWE is forcing themselves into a work. That's not the way it works.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this. Do I think that Triple H is losing power in WWE in terms of creative booking? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And I have reason to believe that, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Nick Khan, and Ari Emanuel are calling some shots in some things that they want to see happen. And that's, that just goes with the territory. Because realistically, the Royal Rumble, if everything went down the way it was supposed to go down, then Cody doesn't point at Roman. He doesn't call out Roman in the press conference and agree with everybody at the press conference. This was the most convoluted, ass-backwards way to get to WrestleMania. I believe when CM Punk got hurt, that's why you saw Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins have that promo in the ring about, you really want that championship or do you want my championship? That was the pivot because Punk was done. That's the moment
but you could look at it in a different way, though. I mean, all because they added that Rollins and Cody segment because of the Punk injury doesn't necessarily mean that they were pivoting because The Rock all of a sudden wanted to interject himself in here. I was just looking at it as, hey, they want to add some intrigue. They got to make Seth Rollins look good. They want to build up his championship, make it look prestigious. I'm okay with that. But then we get The Rock on Friday, and then they just buried everything in that promo with Roman, basically calling him a dude who wears his wife's clothing, and all he said is it's basically the loser's bracket championship. All the guys that you defended that title against, I already beat already, so what the fuck are you calling yourself the workhorse champion for?
And here's the biggest thing that nobody wants to talk about, right? Seth and Cody have been on Raw for, what, a year now? Oh, a year
ever since Cody got to the WWE.
Okay. Seth's been that world champion since Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia, right? Yes. Which was like
they beat AJ. Oh, that was right after WrestleMania. I believe it was in May.
Yeah. Cody hasn't tried to fight for that championship, nor has he wanted to fight for that championship once, which goes to show you that Cody don't give a shit about that title. But we're all supposed to care about that now?
Yeah.
No, that's the biggest thing there too.
How many people actually pointed that out? Have you heard anybody in the community actually call that one out? Because that's a huge glaring issue there.
Right now, all of a sudden, that's the big title. It's the big title because CM Punk got hurt and was supposed to win the Chamber. And now we can't have that match with Seth. And Cody was going to go to WrestleMania to take on Roman, but now they're going to pivot because there's no Punk. Seth is on one leg. There's no Brock Lesnar. So where are your major attractions? Well, Rock's on the board. Wheel him on down. And it makes sense business-wise, but how we got here was dumb.
Yeah, it was dumb. And we're going to read over the report from SAP today. A lot of juicy details in there, especially the part where Triple H knew what was going on, but booked his situation anyway. And apparently Cody voiced his concerns about how this would blow up in WWE's face. And clearly Cody, the EVP that he was factually correct in that assessment. So we will go over all that, ladies and gentlemen. We got 3,200 people and growing. Thank you for joining us on TNT, episode number 34 on this Tuesday night. Make sure you guys follow me on social media at JD from NY206. That's on X. Follow Drew at Andrew Baydala on X as well. Always vocal are the both of us on there. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. Let's try for 2,000 likes is the goal tonight because I know we've been killing it. We just hit 155,000 subscribers. This week has been the best week in the history of the show. Thank you guys all for the support. And go check out all the content, man. I've been keeping you up to date legitimately daily on this Rock Cody WrestleMania situation. Everything you need is on the homepage on the channel. Let's get into the news. I'm going to pull up my notes here, and we're going to start with the new report from Sean Ross Sapp. This is courtesy of Fightful Select. He says he has got more on The Rock, Roman, and Cody information. WWE did not ignore the support for Cody Rhodes, and especially all that was happening on Monday Night Raw. Drew, they constantly referenced it on Monday Night Raw. I will stop there because I want to dissect this because there's a lot of good stuff in this report from Sap. The fuck you Rocky chants or Rocky sucks chants, whatever they were chanting on Monday Night Raw, I heard from some people that watch me on my end that they were there and they were loud, and then they went to go watch it back on television, and that took WWE by surprise where, you know, typically they hit the button and they kind of dumb the crowd down and dumb the volume down on TV. What was your initial reaction when you heard that in that opening segment with Rollins and Cody Rhodes last night?
That was a little bit of a surprise, but I had a funny feeling that we were going to hear and see a lot of backlash from the fans. But it's tough for WWE to know that's coming. So they had no way of diverting it or, you know, diluting the sound noise because you could hear it. Then all of a sudden it like stopped and you were like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense. But yeah, I would say that took them by surprise. I think it took a lot of people by surprise. I mean, did I think we'd get a Rocky sucks chant? No. And Michael Cole, good on them for acknowledging it because you know what you don't want to do is be disingenuous to your audience, and they weren't.
Yeah, that's a good point. I believe in the old administration, they probably would have ignored something like that, and I'm glad that they actually played into it, even though it might not have been the plan. But I know people made a big deal last night. If you guys were watching Monday Night Raw, there were signs and people on social media making "We Want Cody" signs, hashtag "We Want Cody," the Cody movement, or the Woe movement that they're calling it now. I don't know where the signs came from. I don't know if they were actually made by fans and they were handing out the signs to each other in the crowd, or they were administered by WWE. Some people made a big deal about this, and I said this last night on my show, Drew. It doesn't matter where the signs came from. They were allowed on TV. If WWE didn't want them there, they would have taken them away, and then they wouldn't have been on television. But the fact that we saw them on television, square, right on TV, that means WWE allowed them to be there. They wanted them to be there, and WWE at that point was playing into the entire movement.
Yeah, I don't think WWE handed these out.
No.
But I have been in the building where WWE hands out like thank you,
Yes.
taker signs and all this other stuff. I've been there.
Yeah.
WWE had to acknowledge this. Truthfully. If they didn't, they look like the biggest goofballs in the room. And what they could have done realistically was announce this match on Saturday or Friday when the stuff happened, or maybe on Saturday, but they have a press conference Thursday that they want to capture interest and eyeballs for it. So they're doing it. Good for them. So they didn't announce it. But yeah, they had to play into it. Barstool Sports picked up on it. CNN picked up on it. TMZ picked up on the whole Cody movement, and they were, you know, pissed off about The Rock. The fans were. So for them to just pretend like it didn't happen, would have been absolutely asinine. So good on them for acknowledging it. It had everybody and their mother on social media sitting back being like, see, we're getting worked. And I was just like, what exactly are you guys getting worked on? What is it? What do you believe you're truly getting worked on? That Triple H sat there and was like, all right, you know, this is what we're going to do. We'll get people to believe this lie.
No, I don't think that at all. Triple H doesn't work that way. Triple H is such a master of what he did back when he was running NXT. He's applied that to the main roster now. Triple H doesn't really take these convoluted ways to tell stories. Like, there's a long-term vision here. Triple H is for the Cody movement. Triple H is in the camp of Cody needs to finish his story at WrestleMania. Triple H does not want Dwayne in the main event to fuck up his story. That's the way I see it. Dwayne injected himself into this thing because Dwayne has a fucking ego. He doesn't even fit into the fucking story right now.
There is no doubt in my mind that Triple H was presented with this storyline with The Rock stepping in. I would say either Monday after Monday Night Raw, before Monday Night Raw last week, or after, or middle of the week last week, and that's why we saw Rock on television on Friday.
Well, according to Meltzer, Triple H knew the day it was made, January 3rd. They all knew then when he was on the board, and he was guaranteed this match because of his seat on the board.
Dave's a good dude, but no. I can't believe that to be true. If that is to be true, then again, Rock had 20 some odd days to get ready for the Rumble, and he could have thrown 2 or 3 people out. I mean, it's not that hard. It really isn't. I don't. That part is so ridiculous. I think, again, everything that Sean said and wrote about is what I believe, and what I've been told is that this all came to fruition after the Punk injury, after the Vince McMahon news dropped, after Brock Lesnar was named in that, basically, and they had to completely lose star power in WrestleMania. That's it. And again, when Rock
I don't understand. What do you like? That's the part that fucking got me the most angry, though. Save WrestleMania, he said. What is this losing star power at WrestleMania? Because Punk goes down with injury and Brock Lesnar's not there because of what happened with the Vince stuff. I mean, that's two guys. So why are we saving WrestleMania? It's like any logical, down to earth human being that has a fucking wrestling brain can realize, hey man, let's pivot over here. Let's do this. Let's do that. The Rock basically made it seem like I'm coming in to be fucking Black Adam here. I'm gonna be, the superhero in this thing, and WrestleMania is gonna be saved because of me. Meanwhile, at the same time, Drew, I feel like he shit on half the fucking roster.
Well, again, I want to say this: the business behind Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson showing back up in WWE is absolutely massive. I mean, the biggest Hollywood star. You don't know how many. You don't know if you get this opportunity next year. Roman's never been hotter, never been bigger, never been more untouchable. So why not now? Why not do it? I told you guys this, 3 weeks ago, that I believe Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is going to be involved in WrestleMania 40. I don't know if it's a special guest referee or he's going to have a match with Roman. After the Royal Rumble, I thought to myself, okay, just like everybody else, okay, I guess Rock's either going to be a referee or they're going to have a year-long build until next year's WrestleMania. When things changed, injuries happened to CM Punk. They lost a marquee match. They pivoted. And what they did was Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson said, okay, I'm going to do this now. Why not? And in his eyes, he saves WrestleMania. Again, I understand from the fans' perspective. Business-wise, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson showing back up at WWE, it's massive. You take it. If he's willing, you take it. And, do I necessarily want to see Cody Rhodes win the title at Madison Square Garden 6 months from now, how long it's going to be in October?
No.
I would have liked to have seen it at WrestleMania, especially after the guy won the Royal Rumble and pointed at Roman. But here we are. It's a different situation. The Rock and WWE feels like the board feels like this is the way they need to go. I think Triple H probably disagreed with it heavily, but at the end of the day, Triple H is not on the board because Triple H is booking and helping produce and write for WWE. Triple H will never sit on that board, ever. So I understand. And, the narrative going around that, they need to pass Hulk Hogan's record. If WWE gave a shit about Hulk Hogan's record, you wouldn't have seen him on the Royal Rumble. You wouldn't have. If WWE wanted to distance himself from Hulk Hogan that bad,
listen, we went over this already. Hogan's record is meaningless. Hogan doesn't have a fucking record. His record is third place. So Roman Reigns is going from fourth place to third place, and everybody's saying, let's break Hogan's record. This was the point that I initially made that everybody wanted to clip out of context. I don't want Roman Reigns to make it past WrestleMania with the Universal Heavyweight title, because obviously you see what the fuck is happening here. I don't give a shit about what record needs to be broken. I would rather save SmackDown, and I would rather get Cody the title so that we don't have to go through 5 more months of Paul Heyman claiming, hey, call Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns is not on TV. I don't want to see that anymore. I don't think anybody wants to see that anymore.
No, and the thing is that I want to make sure this is clear. I'm with y'all. With the booking of this was asinine. The business is big money. It's huge. You don't pass on this opportunity because you don't know when you get it again. So let's do it. But realistically, if Dave's report is accurate, which it just, you kind of got to read between the lines. It's not. WWE should have just, Rock, you're coming out at 30. You're going to eliminate 2 guys, and that's it. Cody can look on the like CM Punk did and look dejected. Like, son of a, I just lost to this guy who just came back, and my shot was right there. It's not that hard to book. Don't tell me it is.
Oh, so how does the Rock make a decision like that and deem it okay? Like, I don't like, how does he go about business and say, all right, guys, I'm getting this match with Roman, and then call it a night. All right, everybody could go home, not if the office is over yet. Triple H has a fucking show to book and a whole WrestleMania season to book. Like, all right, Rock, well, if you want Roman, shouldn't you win the Royal Rumble? Yeah, and but nobody gives him an answer. And then Cody's got to sit there like, well, what the fuck am I doing? Like, All right.
And that's,
Triple H says, Cody, you go win the Royal Rumble. Nobody's giving me a fucking answer. Let's go with what I have planned here.
and that's why I'm saying, like, the whole, like, Rock, this was the plan since January 3rd. It's just asinine, in my opinion, because you don't have Cody win the Rumble to challenge for a championship that he would have never pointed at anybody. Don't point at anybody. Don't make it obvious because you make Cody look like a wimp. You make him look like a bitch. Here you go. Take my title shot. I'm not ready yet. Okay. That doesn't make any sense. Clearly, this was a pivot. And again, I talked about this on, I put a post out. It was an audio post on X. If Rock is entering the chamber, it's a dead giveaway. He's winning. So you want to do that? You really want to do that? I mean,
it would have been a dead giveaway if he showed up in the Royal Rumble and won it.
But at 30, at that point,
at least it would have made sense.
Well, we talked about it. It was like, all right, listen, we're all hearing the Rock and Roman at WrestleMania, okay? We're all hearing it. Maybe it's not this year. Maybe it's next year. So Rock might show up at 30. All right, whatever. He wins the Rumble at 30. I could live with it. Sami Zayn's music hit, and Cody Rhodes won that Royal Rumble and pointed at Roman Reigns. This is why the fans are so upset. So don't tell me that this was booked beforehand, that Rock was signed, sealed, and delivered for WrestleMania. He was signed, sealed, and delivered for WrestleMania after Punk got hurt, after Brock Lesnar was taken off WrestleMania and all of WWE for the foreseeable future, and Vince McMahon's dirty deeds came out. Because that was during Royal Rumble weekend. So when all the dominoes started to fall, Rock decided it was time to step in. That's it. It's really not that hard to see.
It sounds like the Vince McMahon thing actually got them so rattled to a point where they didn't really think how their decisions would affect the day-to-day, week-to-week business on TV creatively. I'm sitting here thinking, like, how could all of these suits and ties sit there and the biggest WrestleMania of all time upon us and make such a fucking stupid creative decision? It's almost, and I sat here and I'm like, The Rock
made this decision.
The Rock.
Right.
So The Rock made this decision.
Right. But The Rock is not looking at this being like, you know what? Cody's got a lot of momentum, a lot of steam, a lot of fans behind him. You know what? I'll wait. He doesn't, and none of the people on the board are looking at it like that. All right, then what the fuck
is the difference between this administration and the previous administration? Because all The Rock is at that point, basically what you described is Vince McMahon bald with a nicer smile.
Yeah.
It's like it's like Vince replaced Vince McMahon with Vince McMahon. What the fuck?
But I'm just saying, listen, Rock brought in his own writing team. His daughter's the general manager of NXT now. Jimmy Uso just got a push to Gunther's Intercontinental Championship.
Jey Uso.
Or I'm sorry, Jey Uso. I did.
Nia Jax is a fucking dominating figure on TV.
Yeah, Solo's going to have a giant match at WrestleMania against who knows what. I'm sure Jimmy and Jay are fighting each other at WrestleMania. It might even be, if they don't put Rhea and Becky in the main event of night one at WrestleMania, watch out. Brother versus brother might main event. This is Rock's WWE now. This is the Bloodline's WWE. We're just living it.
You aren't pissing me off. What you're saying is pissing me off, because I could actually see it all taking place. And that's not any different, man. We were supposed to move on and fucking clear the darkness and the fucking bad auras here. I'm getting a bad feeling about this shit. I really am.
Who are you going to take care of? Listen, Rock's taking care of his family. He wants his family his family went with his dad. They were in and out of homes. They were this and that. The Rock's dad was blacklisted from WWE because what he did in Saudi Arabia and all this other stuff. Like, you got to know the backstory if you want to know about where Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson comes from. And Dwayne is going to is making sure his family eats. And that's it. And you are seeing it. You are seeing it. But you don't pass on Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson versus Roman Reigns. You have that match because you don't know how many times The Rock's going to be able to put on the boots and get out there and wrestle. He's 52. Roman's never been hotter. An injury can happen at any time. Look at Punk. Look at Rollins. Look at, some things that could come up with. Look at Brock Lesnar. You don't wait. So if Rock's willing to do it, do it. But Rock should have made this decision 2 weeks ago.
Listen,
sorry.
No, bro, he should have made the decision 2 weeks ago. I mean, this is a decision that was looming for the last 4 years. Like, I don't understand what The Rock is doing going into the rest of this year, into 25. I don't know what his schedule looks like, nor do I care. But if The Rock wants to do something, The Rock is going to go ahead and make that a priority and go and do it. If he wants to wrestle his cousin at WrestleMania, he's going to put everything else aside and say, hey, guys, this is my priority. Now let me get this done with, and then go and do whatever he's got to do. But the thing that bothers me is going into WrestleMania 37, we were hearing about this. He didn't want to do it because the timing wasn't right. Clearly, the timing wasn't right because Roman wasn't really the tribal chief at that point. He's more the tribal chief now. WrestleMania 38, we talk about it. The timing's not right. WrestleMania 39, we get to WrestleMania 39, and the timing is perfect in Los Angeles at SoFi Stadium for this match to take place. Oh, no, we're going to hold it off because we got the sale happening with Endeavor and all this other nonsense going on, whatever the fucking excuse was.
Dude,
now, Drew, now, WrestleMania 40, I don't understand how this man, intelligent as he is, thinks now, compared to last year, is a better time to get this match done than WrestleMania 39 because obviously he's fucking everything up.
Listen, here's the deal. WrestleMania 39, WWE was just starting to get real hot, like white hot, okay? They went to Puerto Rico. They went to London. They went to Detroit. They went to Chicago. Record business. Bang, 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 record business. Rock looks at it and goes, I'll be a part of that. Can I come back in? Yeah. I could attach this badass big brand that I have, this global brand. I could attach that. I could ride that wave too. Make a couple shekels. Let me get my trademark back. Let me get the main event at WrestleMania. Let me get my cousin. Let me get this. Let me get my niece, my nephew, your sister, my grand aunt, my uncles, all of them. Let's do it. Your sister's niece's brother, bring her in. She's Samoan, bring her in. That's what's going on here. It's not that hard to figure out. And I don't blame the guy. If they're going to let him do it, let him do it. But Rock brought in a writing team because Rock's going to control what gets written for him on WWE TV.
Oh, yeah? Is that it? Triple H should be sleeping with one eye open at this point.
I mean, Brian Gewirtz is back.
What does that mean?
What do you mean? What does it mean? That's Rock's boy.
I know. It's also Triple H's replacement when he deems Triple H not worthy enough to fucking lead Monday night and Friday night. That's what it means.
But here was the deal. 39 was the time and the place. You're 100% right. But Rock wasn't? Nah, not yet. Not yet. Bide my time. They sold the company. Ari Emanuel.
Yeah, I got a cool 30 million. Let me make that 80 million, right? I want to make my money and I want to grow my money. I'm not going to leave my money in the hands of the American Nightmare. Get out of here, man. That's the way I see him. It's fucked up. It really is.
What are y'all missing? I just want to know, what are y'all missing? The light bulbs are going to start bang, bang going off here. The Rock bided his time. Dwayne The Rock Johnson bided his time. Ari bought the company at 39. Okay? Nick on the board. Vince on the board. And all of a sudden, the allegations started coming out against Vince. Rock's like, time to slide on in. I'm here now. The savior is here. The Brahma bull. Put a halo over the bull. I'm here. I'm here, folks.
Even Vince McMahon in his darkest hour when he's not there anymore is still there. Still. Because this is all being done for Vince, is what you're saying.
Well, I don't know if it's being done for Vince. It's being done for Dwayne. The Rock came in. He waited.
Vince and Dwayne's ego. It's the same fucking thing.
Billionaires all have an ego. Megastars all have an ego. Otherwise, they don't ever reach those heights. What I'm saying to you is that there's no such thing as coincidence. The Rock waited until Vince was gone. Gone. And he's now a board member. He didn't get in at 39 because Vince was still around. He couldn't do what he wanted. Now de facto, he's like, what, number 2 in the company?
Yeah, he's right on the Ari Emanuel, yeah.
Right. And him and Ari are boys. You don't think Ari, as soon as he bought the company, just wait a couple of months, DJ.
Wait a minute, the chat. Drew is not saying that this creatively is a good idea. I firmly believe he thinks this is a terrible idea, but he's giving you the business aspect of why Rock is here. He doesn't agree with this taking place at WrestleMania in this manner. This is one of the worst creative moves in the history of the company.
Right, but again, like I said before, the way that they got to this was stupid. Cody Rhodes winning the Rumble to just pass it along was dumb booking. The creative process here was so convoluted and so stupid, it's mind-boggling. But if you think that these board members are sitting around and they're looking at this and like, we got to finish Cody's story. They don't give a shit. What's going to make us money? What's going to be the biggest return for our investment? What's going to get the most eyeballs on our product? And that's Dwayne The Rock Johnson versus Roman Reigns. They don't give two shits about your story. They took your story, ripped it in half, and threw it in the lake. They don't care. So stop pretending like they do.
They put that shit in the fucking bargain bin at Barnes & Noble. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, no, I don't. If you're asking me, did I want this match to take place over Cody and Roman? You're absolutely losing your mind. No, I didn't. But here we are, and it makes sense what they're doing. It makes sense that The Rock and Roman are facing each other. How we got here was dumb, stupid. And realistically,
does The Rock know that it's dumb? He has to know at this point, right?
Oh, he don't care.
Fuck you mean he doesn't care?
He doesn't care. He doesn't care if I saw people like, 500,000 people dislike this thing on YouTube. It's got like 5 million views.
You mean to tell me Mr. Ego, all about The Rock, Dwayne J, he doesn't give a shit the perception of the way people think about him?
Bro, you know what he gives a shit about is his bank account. Now he has more at stake being a board member, TKO shares. You think he gives a about Cody and his story, or what like the IWC thinks? 10% of the people dislike that video that's got 5 million views. Then other 90% of it is going to watch WrestleMania and they're going to either enjoy it or not.
600,000 people is a huge sample size, man.
I'm not saying it's not, but I'm just saying 10 to 11% is not 90. If they were like 3 to 5 million people disliking it, maybe. But I mean, like, no, The Rock doesn't care. And Cody shouldn't be anywhere near this match at this point. He's not Samoan. He's not in the bloodline. He basically was just like, here you go, Dwayne. What double duty? Yeah, let's do double duty.
We'll get there. We'll get there, because this report just gets a little bit more ridiculous here. Many are reporting, like you said, and like I had talked about last night on my Raw show, if this was a work or not. To be clear, if this is a work or not, there were numerous parties that had not been clued in on such as of last Friday. How things have evolved since then are much less clear, says Sapp. There are many reporting, speculating, or even wondering if this entire situation had been a work from the start. I think we all are in agreement here that this was not a work from the start. This was completely a shoot. So WWE shot, Dwayne shot, he missed clearly. They did not expect this backlash, and now WWE is going to spin it and weave it into a narrative where they are going to pretend like they're working you, but what they really are working to make this fucking huge fumble into a storyline of some magnitude. I don't know what's going to happen. I guess we'll find out on Thursday, correct? At the press conference?
Yeah, that's the whole thing. It's a free press conference. They want people to show up. It's during the Super Bowl week. It's at the T-Mobile Arena. It's not at your grandma's theater. It's the T-Mobile Arena. They're going to try and get as many people as they can. So let's capture interest. Let's garner attention. And that's what they did. They've announced nothing. The only thing you got is Bayley and Io Sky.
Yep.
That's it.
Nothing wrong with that either.
No, great. Love it. Love the story there. That was the right call. Just like Rhea and Becky will be the great call for WrestleMania. But realistically, like, okay, Triple H, how is Rock fighting for the championship? Because if so, did he earn it? That's what the wrestling media is going to ask, right? But the media that's going to be there is going to say, Rock, why now? Why are you back in the wrestling ring? And then you'll get your answer. The regular, like, non-wrestling media journalists are not going to ask wrestling-related questions, storyline-related questions. They just see that this beautiful, bald son of a bitch who's worth billions is now stepping into WWE's ring to get more eyeballs. That's it.
Sure, maybe we should have went there.
We were invited.
I got a couple of questions, man, really.
Don't let it fool you. Me and JD were invited.
I can't let Steve Fall ask these ridiculous questions, man. Come on. Jesus Christ. Anyway, there are many reporting, speculating if this entire thing has been a work from the start. We talked about that. While we can't speak to the grander situation and who planned what specifically, we can speak to Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, CM Punk, the creative team, producers, and those around them. They were not told that an elaborate, multifaceted work was the plan. As of last week, Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins was the direction told to creative. Prior to the Royal Rumble, CM Punk versus Seth Rollins was the active plan, and that was relayed to Punk himself. So if there was a work at play, it didn't involve those parties ahead of the Royal Rumble, so it would have been a work on them as well. I'm going to stop there. If Punk didn't get hurt, Drew, and we got Punk Rollins and the original plan for WrestleMania, would Dwayne have still interjected himself into the situation? Because at that point, we still would have had the Vince McMahon allegations, and I think a lot of this has to do with Vince and taking the eyeballs off of the media and the negative press around WWE with Vince McMahon. Rock felt like if we maybe pivoted and he comes in and plays superhero here, that things would kind of move away from that. If we go with the original plan of Rollins, Punk, and Cody and Roman, is Dwayne still interjecting himself the way we saw him do that on Friday here? Not
in a wrestling capacity, no.
Like an enforcer or a referee then?
I believe that Dwayne, like I said 3 weeks ago, I believe Dwayne The Rock Johnson would have been involved in WrestleMania. That's where I think Dave is getting his stories mixed up and convoluted. I believe that, yes, Dwayne The Rock Johnson would be involved in WrestleMania in Philadelphia, but I do not believe it would be him wrestling. I think the injuries and the Lesnar stuff, in his mind, they needed star power, and it was an easy sell to the board.
I could see that being the case. Now, we did see the George Kittle clip on Twitter, and Triple H did retweet that. I don't know if that's them playing into this whole Cody woe movement thing. I don't know why Triple H would tweet that and say something along the lines of he knows what he's talking about. Or
don't you think that they would like some the guys that are in the Super Bowl? Don't you think they'd like them at the press conference?
They're already in town. Correct.
Hey.
Yeah.
Kittle, what's up, bud?
Yeah.
Come on. Show up to the press conference. All right, cool. That's it. Done.
Yeah.
I mean, you could get George Kittle. You could get Deebo Samuel. Let's just say you get Pat Mahomes and Travis Kelce at your press conference.
Yeah. That's a Nick Khan wet dream right there.
Yeah. This isn't Camp Snoopy, guys. This is Disney. This is WWE. This isn't your mom and pop federation anymore. This is a global brand that are doing global things. That's why this shit's happening.
Now, this does not answer the why as it relates to Cody winning the Royal Rumble. As we heard the day of the Rumble, several in creative were told that The Rock vs. Roman was the plan, and merchandise had already been produced to promote that match for WrestleMania. So, Cody winning the Royal Rumble, Drew and I had talked about that just a little bit ago. They heard day of the Rumble. Several in creative were told that Rock versus Roman Reigns was the plan. But what were they going to do if Dwayne didn't want to go out there and make sense of it all? It's basically, Triple H sitting there with his hands tied. I mean, well, I got Cody here. I can't give it to this one. I can't give it to that one. Cody makes the most sense. It's almost as if they set Cody up for failure right at the Royal Rumble because nobody else wanted to do what they needed to do to make sense of this.
If Rock was like on board and I'm having a match at WrestleMania, he should have won the Rumble. This is ad nauseum.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, they don't throw Cody out there and knowing that the match is Roman Rock and he's pointing at him and all that other stuff. You can miss me with it. And all Rock, I predicted the Rock to win the Royal Rumble. Yeah. I predicted that.
Yeah.
That's what I said I thought was going to happen because it just seemed like this Rock and Roman stuff had way too much steam. When Cody won it, I was actually pleased. I was like, awesome. Now we can get Cody and Roman, and Cody's going to finally finish his story. Or so we thought.
Yeah. As far as the word on that plan for Rock and Roman Reigns, that plan dating back to January 3rd, Fightful says we heard from WWE sources that there were meetings on January 1 and others along the way that had indicated to Cody Rhodes that the creative direction had not been changed, and he was slated to face Reigns at WrestleMania. Up until the week prior to the Royal Rumble, no other parties that we'd heard from or have spoken to since were made aware. To the best of our knowledge, a select group of people were informed Royal Rumble weekend that the direction had been changed. So clearly that didn't include Cody Rhodes. I mean, it goes to show you what they think of Cody Rhodes if they didn't want to fill him in on the plans that they had changed for him. I mean, you'd think taking him out of the fucking main event of the biggest WrestleMania of all time, he'd need to be included in this. But again, it goes back to what I said. What is he going to do? He was forced to win the Royal Rumble, whether this made sense or not.
I'm not going to sit here and pretend that maybe Dwayne didn't have this idea in his head, but he did not execute it, or it wasn't told to creative / Triple H and made it a mandate until after the Royal Rumble. That I could guarantee. There's no way. There's no way that Rock might have had this planned all along. Sure. But I'm not going to tell you that we're doing it until after the Royal Rumble. And that's on The Rock. And that's on WWE's creative. Like they should have just said, whoa, wait a second.
Why?
Well, again, I think the injuries, I think Rock does try and get a pulse and a feel for things. And sometimes I don't do the whole comic book stuff. So it's supposedly he ruined DC. I don't know.
Supposedly.
Right. I don't know. So again, I think Rock saw a lot of things falling and he was like, let me be the savior. And realistically, he's like being portrayed as the devil. So,
I mean, is it a situation of his ego fucking went into overdrive and it blinded him about everything else that he needed to do in that moment? I mean, it just comes off as a selfish fucking, individual. Like, how do you not tell the fucking people below you that are more involved in this than you are? Like, I don't understand it.
I'm just telling you, I don't think The Rock gives it. I mean, I'm going to tell you, I don't think
Clearly.
The Rock gives a shit. I don't think he does. He's a really good human being outside of like the wrestling business, but in the wrestling business, he's going to protect himself and his family. And that's what he's doing. He always has. When Rock has come back, John Cena ripped him to shreds in 2012, and John Cena took an L. Y'all better be careful with Dwayne. I'm just letting you know, you better be careful with Dwayne, because if you get Cody involved in this, Dwayne is going to bury Cody. Let Cody go away and let him finish the story at the Garden, because The Rock hated what John Cena did to him, and John Cena apologized, but John Cena buried The Rock on live television. And what happened at WrestleMania? John Cena took an L. Now, Rock did right the next year, but it took 365 to get there.
So, I mean, I'm gonna pivot. That's everybody's favorite word this fucking weekend. Pivot.
Pivot.
I'm gonna pivot to another report before we get back to the SAP report, where the report was from Meltzer, and he put out that he believed that some in the company were possibly thinking that Dwayne would put himself over Roman. If this is the one-on-one match at WrestleMania, that Dwayne would put himself over Roman in the main event of WrestleMania 40. So I don't want to sit here and tell you that I believe that, because I just find that to be as outlandish as anything. But now you're saying that, look out for Dwayne, he's going to bury Cody Rhodes. I mean, why would he go into business for himself like that when people already have gotten a bad feeling about him? He would go and do something like that if they try and right the ship here. Why would he do that to Cody?
No, I don't think The Rock's going to win the championship. I don't even know if the match is going to be for the championship, truthfully. The biggest thing, Cody has talked about the Garden a lot, and I think that's something that maybe after the Royal Rumble and after the dominoes fell and The Rock was back in play, and this is the direction they were going, maybe WWE had a phone call, Triple H had a phone call, Nick Khan, whomever, Ari, even Dwayne, and said, hey, listen, we're going to give you the championship at Madison Square Garden. We'll book an event, but it's not going to be till way after WrestleMania, and, or maybe SummerSlam. Maybe it's in Georgia. I think it's in Cleveland, but you never know. And that's how this all came about. I don't,
Man, is that a suitable Band-Aid for Cody Rhodes? Like Madison Square Garden. I get MSG, Drew, I do, but it's not WrestleMania.
No, and Cody said that he would, he would like to really finish that story at WrestleMania. In his perfect world, that his, dream scenario would be WrestleMania, but WrestleMania 41 is too far. It's too far.
No, it's too far.
They got, if they really want to make a bang, October, NBCU, that deal kicks in, they get 4 specials. Do it.
Yeah.
The WWE will need a big push heading into September and October, because that's normally their lull, along with May and June. But they've kind of figured out that lull. They go international now. Okay. So that'll be big. Cody wins the championship at the Garden, ends Roman's tyrannical reign. Bang. Done. And it's a big push into Survivor Series, into the Rumble, into WrestleMania 41. And if Mania 41's either in Minneapolis or in Vegas, that's a big push with Cody. So that's, I think it's a really good consolation prize. But again, Cody's he's a pro, man. You got to give him a lot of credit. Cody's a pro and he's a team player. You could tell he was dejected on Friday.
I mean, it looked like it was about to fucking just waterfall coming out of his eyes. That was a terrible situation for him. But moving on with this report from SAP, those that we spoke to say Fightful claim that Cody Rhodes expressed to WWE that he thought the reaction wouldn't be the desired one, but still did the segment and was said to have been in a somber mood after. Other sources claim that this decision goes all the way up to Ari Emanuel and Mark Shapiro and was even above Nick Khan and Triple H. So, like you said before, and like I had alluded to on my own end, Ari Emanuel, Dwayne Johnson, Mark Shapiro, that's the three-headed beast here. Nick Khan is even answering to both Ari and Dwayne Johnson, and Triple H has no fight in the matter. Triple H has no power here. He's got no say. If whatever these guys want, Triple H is going to have to basically go ahead and do what they want, no matter what.
Correct.
So the segment went down, featured The Rock and Cody Rhodes shaking hands. We haven't been able to find out what The Rock said to Cody Rhodes verbatim, but I've learned it was something in reference to their fathers. We've long heard that Rock and Cody maintained a great relationship for years. Beyond that, we're told that WWE had started production on a follow-up to the American Nightmare documentary months back and has had cameras following Cody for it. There was content filmed for it Friday as well. Again, I want to stop here, Drew. After all the people that said, it's a work, I'm pretty positive, you're pretty positive it's not a work. Everything was going to go as planned until Dwayne changed it up. It was all a shoot from that point. Now they're going to work themselves into a work. But when you hear shit like that, man, it's almost as if, was this thing planned from the very beginning? Because I know you alluded to it. WWE films everything. And they were filming for a new documentary before all this even went down.
Yeah, all the stars have aligned. Every little nuance that you need to pay attention to, we've all paid attention to. The American Nightmare documentary aired in July, right? Right before SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Cover of 2K24, big deal. He's the guy, okay? Wins the Rumble. Gonna finish the story of WrestleMania.
One of four men, by the way, to win back-to-back.
And we've changed it. And Cody understands that what The Rock brings to WrestleMania in a match. And Cody is not going to die on this hill that, hey, this isn't happening. Because realistically, Cody's like, all right, let's get this match out of the way, and you're going to give me my championship victory at Madison Square Garden on Saturday night's main event on NBC. That's my take. Could happen at SummerSlam. Who knows? He's like, all right, whatever. Because Cody knows that it's only going to elevate his stock. WWE doing big business only helps him and everybody else in that locker room. Contracts, values go up, media rights continue to skyrocket, ticket sales continue to skyrocket. That's why Cody's okay with this. And realistically, to your point, they don't have a choice. I mean, if The Rock and Ari Emanuel and Nick Khan want this, that's what's getting done. Yeah. Again, the booking sucks. It sucks. Cody winning the Rumble, handing his spot to Dwayne. They buried everybody in that ring besides Roman. It was dumb. They buried the World Heavyweight Championship too. It was dumb. But we got to understand the business here, and the business is Roman and Rock. That's it. Thursday is not going to change that. You'll just get an official announcement, or The Rock's entering the chamber, and then he'll win it, blah, 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 blah. But they are not pivoting from Rock and Roman. You don't add Cody to this match. But we'll get to that.
We'll get to that. WWE was heavily monitoring the reactions. A lot of the reactions online went viral from people inside the WWE on that roster, people on the indies tweeting, "We want Cody." The video that WWE uploaded initially did near 600,000 dislikes. That's a big sample size, but Drew said, and it is true, it's like 10, 11% of the overall fan base there. It's like, at the end, it's a large number, but still a small number at the same time. And then WWE altered the clip and left the part out where Cody Rhodes was about to fucking cry his eyes out. Mm-hmm. They edited that out and basically uploaded a newer version without that in it. So WWE tried to manipulate the clip over the weekend and pretend like everything was all right in the midst of everybody fucking crying outrage over this garbage.
And they uploaded a Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins rivalry story.
Yes, I saw that. Yeah, because they were really pushing that Rollins-Cody match after Friday with that playlist.
Yeah, and now we'll get a triple threat with Drew involved.
So we're told that as of the days after SmackDown, there were options being discussed moving forward. We cannot speak to other outlets reporting of what will or won't happen and can't confirm as much. Regarding the signs at Raw, we've not heard from anyone within the company that WWE were handing those out. Fightful did hear from numerous fans in attendance that physically printed the signs themselves and brought them to the show with time-stamped evidence from before the broadcast. However, WWE were not planning to shy away from the controversy, with many in the company noting it was a major swing in coverage than they'd experienced over the prior 2 weeks. Talent were also not instructed to tweet about it as of the weekend after, which could always change as things progress. There were incorrect stories attributed to PW Insider, who never reported anything as such, claiming that a title unification was locked in for SummerSlam. That has not been locked in, and PW Insider did not report that. So good on SAP for clearing their name on that, because social media things get wild and people just start reporting shit out of thin air. Sources backstage at Raw said that they expected a passionate reaction for Rhodes, but weren't necessarily expecting Rocky Sucks chants. Now, I think there was a report, Drew. I'm going to go to my Twitter. Give me a second, because I know I liked the tweet or I said something in regards to Sap's tweet here earlier in the afternoon. If I could find it, let me see where it is. It was ridiculous. Yeah, five sources within WWC. Cody is a company man and has long respected WWE's decision making, but claimed Cody actually voiced that through the audience and voiced that it wouldn't react well to the change in creative direction for media before last Friday. So this man actually spoke out about, hey guys, this is not going to work. Like I know this fan base, and they went ahead and did it anyway, which is what I said earlier. Like, this is what they think of Cody Rhodes. Like, they didn't even take his opinion into consideration here, and they just went ahead and did what they wanted to do.
Yeah, I mean, your live attendance is normally, like, I'd say 75% your hardcore demographic who watches the product weekly. You get the 25% who maybe it's their kids going for the first time or whatever, and they really don't care who The Rock's fighting at WrestleMania or if Roman's fighting Rock at WrestleMania. They're just there to see a good show. And The Rock and Roman fighting each other is like, wow, that's cool. I mean, yeah, Cody's 100% right. And the people like, how many casuals are going to be at WrestleMania? None. I mean, maybe 10%, maybe 5 to 10%.
That's one of the most hardcore audiences all year.
Yeah, and I mean, it sells out before announcing a match. Like, WrestleMania is the hardcore demographic Super Bowl, and they go.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Cody's 100% spot on. Cody knew what was going to happen. It's just WWE they don't really care. They don't care because they're going to make money regardless. They want to put on the biggest show and have the biggest eyeballs and the biggest spectacle that is WrestleMania. I mean, live event is not the measuring stick for a successful business, especially with WWE. It's a big plus, but it's not the only measuring stick here.
There were anonymous sources that reached out to Fightful in regards to this entire situation. One WWE talent who's newer to the roster said, Dwayne is impossible to dislike if you meet him. And I think that a lot of what he's built himself on would be undermined by actually going through with something like this. If you listen to so many of the things he said, especially to people like me, it just makes me think that it won't happen the way that it appears. There was another wrestler who told Fightful that they believe this will be a big test. Rock got cheered at SmackDown and booed on screen at house shows over the past weekend. They'll show it on screen at Raw, and then the presser in Vegas and SmackDown will be telling. Will he even be around for SmackDown this coming Friday? I don't know. Another talent said,
Who wrote that? Who wrote that?
This is from Sap.
Okay.
Yeah. Another talent said, if I know Dwayne like I think I know him, perception is very important to him, so I think the chances are high that he takes this head on and addresses it in some capacity. Then there was another higher-up that was asked if there were any issues with Reigns and Rollins taking shots at each other's championship, and the higher-up told Fightful, and this is a quote, and I quote, "Look, we're in business with this now. That happens all the time. One champion has a reason their title is more valid than another's. Perception is reality in that kind of situation. We definitely want to create that discussion. Do you value the guy who isn't around as much and beat everybody, or do you value the guy who's around all the time and Roman didn't actually beat? It's not an accident." Then Meltzer goes on and he reports that The Rock's deal to join the board of directors was to get the match with Reigns, something he and the company wanted to do for years, which we had already talked about earlier. Mike Johnson wrote that WWE has absolutely been monitoring the responses, and basically the Las Vegas presser is going to be the end-all be-all here on Thursday. Drew, you mentioned that you don't think that Cody's going to be added to this WrestleMania dilemma here. If they don't add Cody and he goes on and wrestles Seth Rollins at WrestleMania, or we get Cody, Seth, and Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania, how is this WrestleMania going to come off to you? Is there, I know some people have mentioned sabotage. They've mentioned the 2015 Royal Rumble, the last time Reigns and Rock were in the ring. Philadelphia didn't really welcome them at the end of that Royal Rumble. How do you see this being successful for WWE in the eyes of the fans? Do you sense any hatred or animosity here if this match goes on without Cody Rhodes being involved?
I mean, yeah, the internet wrestling community will 100% have outrage and they won't understand why and everything else like that. Cody tried to kind of like dull it down by putting that tweet out saying, trust me, I got this. WWE did him and The Rock no favors by what they did on Friday. And it was the most stupid, convoluted booking I've ever seen. But I don't believe Cody Rhodes will be added to this match at WrestleMania. Could they? Sure. I don't believe it's going to happen. I believe they're going to stay the course. I believe that Roman and Rock is going to happen. It's going to be the battle for the head of the table. Whether the title's on the line or not is yet to be seen. I think it'd be weak if WrestleMania doesn't have the title on the line if your champion is wrestling. But again, the story is The Rock saving his family from this tyrannical leader of this bloodline that he appointed himself the head of the table, Roman Reigns. That's what the story is. How the hell does Cody fit into this? He doesn't. He doesn't.
He won the Royal Rumble.
I get that, and I'm with you. Cody, at that point, yeah. But Cody was just like, here you go. Not at WrestleMania. Cody said the words, not at WrestleMania.
All right, so let me stop you there. There's no way that this writing team, Brian Gewirtz, right, this fucking guy, man, I'm hearing about this guy all week. There's no way that we can pen Cody Rhodes into this to make sense at all?
I'm sure, listen, I'm sure they can write whatever they want to write. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it's not possible. Anything's possible. But I just don't believe the story that they are trying to tell you on television right now involves Cody Rhodes at all. They are leading you down a path where with Thursday, 2 days from now, you're going to get your answers by hook or crook. And I believe that Drew McIntyre will probably attack Cody and Seth again, disrupt the press conference, and you're going to get a triple threat at WrestleMania with Cody, Drew, and Seth. Because that way you could take a lot of the match work off of Seth. Seth could show up, defend the championship, lose, blah, blah, blah. But the story is The Rock and Roman Reigns now. Cody's not Samoan. Cody has nothing to do with the bloodline. And there should not be a night one Cody versus Roman and a night two or Roman versus Rock or vice versa. That is the dumbest shit I've ever heard. How do you market that? Let's paint the picture, shall we? Sit with me for a second. WrestleMania 40. The biggest match of all time. Roman Reigns versus The Rock. The battle for the bloodline. And the winner on Sunday gets Cody Rhodes. The fuck out of here. How? What? Why? If
nobody's asking for it to be booked that way. Cody won the Rumble. He had his title shot taken away from him. You're
telling me like I booked this shit. I would have had Cody versus Roman.
But this is what I do. It's why I'm successful here. You can't force Cody to take a title match that he doesn't want. Book it. Make sense of it. So all Cody has to do is come out on Thursday and say, you know what, Rock? I rescind my offer. I think that's a terrible idea. Or have somebody convince him that he made the wrong decision.
So how do you book this? You want a triple threat at WrestleMania?
No, I don't want a triple threat at WrestleMania because all you're doing is splitting the fan base. You're going to make the fucking Rock fans upset because Cody's involved, and you're going to make the Cody fans upset because Rock's involved when both fans want a one-on-one match.
You want a one-on-one with Cody versus Roman?
Yes.
And where do you want The Rock to go? You want him to go
I want him to be a referee or an enforcer.
I think we're past that, right?
In a perfect world, I'd have Rock come out and say, yeah, it's going to be me and the Tribal Chief at WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas.
I mean, they could, but I don't know. The Rock's not taking a back seat.
Well, The Rock has already stated he's going to wrestle Roman Reigns. Basically, they fucking showed the WrestleMania sign on Friday underneath them. The camera angle was conveniently placed there. Mm-hmm. If they do Rock and Roman on night one, why can't they do Roman and Cody on night two? Like, I mean, you got a 2-night main event. Why not use the fucking format to your advantage? And Roman doesn't wrestle more than fucking 6 times a year anyway. He'd benefit from wrestling 2 times in one weekend. He can take an extra day off in the year.
You know what? I'm coming back for this big mega match, this dream match that everyone wanted, big business. I'm going to main event night one, let Cody main event the big show on Sunday. Yeah. The Rock is not doing that. He's not doing it.
He already took his spot. What else can? What else is he going to do to him?
Bro,
he owes him a favor.
I'm not saying what you're saying and what the internet wrestling community and even what I want Cody versus Roman, but we're not getting it.
I made you look like a fucking idiot on national television, man. The least I could do is fucking wrestle on night one for you. Here you go.
The Rock is not doing that. What do you mean? You think he's taking a backseat to Cody Rhodes? Get the fuck out of here.
What's the difference? It's the WrestleMania main event. There's going to be more people watching on both nights than any other night in the year. Who gives a shit?
Rock is not taking a backseat to anybody but somebody in his family, and that would be Roman
ego.
Reigns.
It's his Vince McMahon fucking 3.0 here.
Yeah,
like I said before, we replaced Vince with Vince.
Listen, this match should have happened next year. This match could happen at SummerSlam for all I give a shit. But I'm telling you right now, it's not.
Big suave, big businessman Rock, man. Yeah, this is the year it makes the most sense, right? Give me a fucking break. What an idiot.
Rock doesn't know what he's doing a year from now. Rock doesn't know if Roman's going to be hurt. Rock doesn't know if he's going to be hurt.
Bro, if that man wants to take a trip to the fucking moon, he can take it whenever he wants. You don't know what the fuck he's doing next year. He could do whatever he wants.
What happens if Rock's like, all right, me and you, Roman, will do a year-long build, and then all of a sudden some production company comes in and they're like, hey, we want you to do this, and we're going to pay you $30 million to do the movie. You think he's going to be like, sorry, guys, I got WrestleMania.
Why not?
No.
If it's important to him, how much more money does he need?
He's got nothing on the table right now, so that's why the match is happening right now. And it's The Rock. They're not going to say no to The Rock. Do I think that Cody and Roman should have the match at Mania? Yes. Are they going to do it? No. No. Cody and Roman is not happening at WrestleMania, in my opinion. Could they pivot? Sure. Well, are they going to listen to the vocal minority? Probably not. But I'm just letting you know, don't get your hopes up because it's not. I don't think it's happening. And I don't think it's happening because The Rock is on the board of directors, and just like any megastar, any global icon, I mean, you're going to sit here and tell me they don't have an ego? Yeah, he has an ego. And it's big business for WWE, and that's all the board members see is the business. They don't see JD and Andrew Dallas sitting here talking about storyline-driven material because they don't give a shit. What's the bottom line? The bottom line is, are my stock prices rising? Are my live attendance growing? Are my ROIs doing this? Is my cash flow doing that? That's all they care about, man. It's the bottom line.
All right, let me ask you this, because it's very similar. I mean, it's similar in some ways, but also at the same time, it's not similar. I mean, Bryan Danielson didn't give his fucking title shot up like a fucking idiot like Cody Rhodes did. At least the corporation had him earn it in 2014. So let me say this. Bryan didn't win the Rumble in 2014. They gave it to Batista. And the Yes Movement just grew and grew and grew, and they were forced to make a change. Vince, of all people, was forced to make a change that he didn't want.
We were okay with it because Bryan didn't win the Royal Rumble and just be like, excuse me, you can have my spot.
Yeah, he worked his way into it, and they weaved it. I mean, it was a fucking stupid decision to not include him, but at least he didn't give his title shot away like Cody Rhodes did. But they changed it, and Vince, of all people, made the change because of the fan outrage, which was unbelievable that year. If this thing takes place on Thursday, February 8th, do you see this growing even more? I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's going to be bigger than the Yes Movement, but obviously, if Cody's not added on Thursday, I feel like this is going to get a lot more vocal and a lot worse on social media. Do you feel that with 2 months to go before WrestleMania, that there is an inkling of a chance that Cody gets added due to the overwhelming support from the fan base if he doesn't get added on Thursday?
If you're asking my opinion, the answer is no. No.
They won't. This administration won't make the change, but that administration made the right change. I don't see that happening.
You want to know what the biggest difference is, JD, from this administration to that administration?
Please tell me, because there needs to be a difference. I don't want to sit here with two administrations being the same way. I need an explanation.
One of the guys who was in the WrestleMania main event was not on the board of directors at WrestleMania 30. None of them were. WrestleMania 40 has a member of the board of directors in its main event.
Bro, Vince McMahon made the change.
Vince McMahon wasn't fucking wrestling.
It doesn't matter.
It is. Yeah, of course it matters. It does matter. The Rock tells you it doesn't matter, but it does matter.
Vince created this show.
I understand, but Vince, you got to understand something. Vince will do things to appease the audience at times. Rock is not going to do that because he's on the board. This is his match. It's his match with his cousin. Let me put this in perspective for you. If Vince McMahon was as big as a star as Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and Vince had a chance to main event WrestleMania with his son-in-law Triple H or his son Shane, you don't think he would have done it? He would have. He's not a big a star. The Rock's on the board of directors. Batista, Randy Orton, and Daniel Bryan were not on the board of directors. It's not happening. I'm sorry. I understand.
That is a dangerous way to operate business, man. I'm sorry. That's an uber dangerous way to operate business.
I agree with you, but what I'm saying is like, will the vocal minority get louder? Yes, it will. WWE is basically going to play a big old game of chicken with you. How loud are you guys going to get? We're going to see. We're going to announce this sucker on Thursday. I don't know what they're going to do. Is Rock going to enter the chamber, blah, blah, blah. But all signs point to Roman and Rock. And they are going to see how long you guys are going to keep up. Keep up.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I mean, everybody in the chat's obviously split here. I mean, Drew's got the right business. Listen, what you people don't understand me, if you're new here, thank you, by the way. What you don't get is I want things to make sense. I've built this platform and this podcast on the logic of creative making sense. I feel for Triple H. I feel for Cody Rhodes. I feel for all that have been involved in this thing, and plans have been changed because of Dwayne's ego. Drew is obviously talking about Rock and the business side of Dwayne's mentality, and he's correct in that.
I agree with you, and I've said it a million times. I agree with the booking and the emotional investment that we all had with Cody winning the Rumble and him pointing to Roman. The match should happen, but they pivoted.
What are we looking at as far as WrestleMania now? I know you and I had booked a fantasy match. We had a good solid 7-8 matches. Now, clearly Punk's injury has taken him out of the cards. Lesnar, not only has he been removed from creative plans, he's being removed from all aspects of video games. They removed him from the cover of 2K. They pulled him from Supercard. What are we looking at as far as WrestleMania is concerned now? You're going with Dwayne and Roman night 2. Cody, Drew McIntyre, and Seth Rollins on night 1. Those are the 2 main events for WrestleMania.
No. I'm going to have Cody, Seth, and Drew on the same night as Rock and Roman. I think that's night 2. They have enough star power. They have enough matches. They can get away with some big stuff on night 1.
So wait a minute. Wait. You want the losers bracket title to be underneath the Universal title, even on the show?
There. Come on. Even listen, if that match main events night 1, nobody gives a shit. If it was Punk and Rollins, yeah, you have that match lock, stock, and barrel in the main event. I don't do this to Cody. Like, you've already done enough. I don't put him in that main event because realistically, Cody's never wanted that title. If he wins the championship in that match, people are just going to be like, okay. And Cody's flat out said, I don't really want this championship. I want your championship.
All right, let's keep it there. Like, if we get a triple threat match between those 3 gentlemen, and Cody's cashing in his Royal Rumble win, and obviously that's a championship match. Not really the one he wants, not really the one he chose, but that's the one he's been given. Do we see Cody win that match? Does he win the championship? Or do we see Cody get robbed again, continue the adversity storyline, and we get a 4th man involved here? Are we cashing in Damian Priest and having him walk out of WrestleMania with the championship?
So if you are going to have that night 1 main event be the triple threat for the World Heavyweight Championship, or if we're just going to get a singles match with Cody and Seth, which it doesn't seem like it because Drew has inserted himself a million times now, yes, I have Cody win the match, and then all of a sudden Damian Priest cashes in. Heat personified.
I like that. I mean, that would give Cody a little bit more ammunition to continue his chase of Roman. How we get him to Roman after WrestleMania is a whole nother can of worms. I don't know what we're doing as far as that is concerned. Roman's on SmackDown. Cody would have to be inserted into SmackDown plans. Does he just
I just want to know what's going to make you guys happy. What's going to make you guys happy with Cody? Because that's what you all need to cope with at this point. Because I'm right there with you to a certain extent. Do you want Cody to main event WrestleMania night 1, win the championship, and then have Damian Priest cash in?
Absolutely. Cody should not win any fucking title but the WWE title. If he wins that title from Rollins, it's going to decrease what it really means when he beats Roman. I do not want that to happen.
That's your savior. That's your Lord and Savior, chat, who are just burying me. If you think about it logically, you have Cody get into this match, win the match at the night 1 main event WrestleMania,
no,
and then Priest cashes in. Right, but Cody, it's got to be the main event. It doesn't. It doesn't need to be the main event of WrestleMania night 1 because realistically, Cody Rhodes shouldn't win the championship and should not hold a championship until it is what JD said, the Universal Championship.
Absolutely not.
It devalues everything. So don't put it at the main event. Don't.
I'm with that. I'm with that. And listen, if you want to put it in the main event of night 1 and have Priest walk out with the championship, I'm okay with that. I'm truly okay with that.
Me too. But you guys got to remember, like, Cody's not walking out champion. Priest's going to walk out champion. Is Damian Priest going to close the show if that's what we're booking? Is Damian Priest the visual you want to go off the air with at WrestleMania night 1? Or is Rhea and Becky what you want to go off?
Either one I'm fine with. Or you want to do Bayley Io. Give Bayley the main event because she won the Royal Rumble.
Well, in my opinion, what's the bigger women's singles match? I think it's
Becky and Rhea for sure.
Rhea. Yeah. Right.
So, I mean, another thing you guys got to take into consideration, I know a lot of people are loving McIntyre's work. You can't give McIntyre the title because we don't know what his contract status is, and WWE's not going to give him a championship if he hasn't signed a contract. So we don't really know what that situation is either. So Damian Priest may be looking like the option here, and Cody should not win a fucking title unless he's going to hold up Roman's titles, which, again, it's a whole nother can of worms. How do we get him over to Roman after this whole WrestleMania dilemma plays out with Roman and Rock? I don't know.
There's a briefcase.
There's money in the bank
above the ring in Toronto, and then Cody could call his shot, a la RVD. Here, I'll book it for you. Cody wins the Money in the Bank in Toronto. Calls his shot at the Garden in October. He said, "I'm cashing in," just like RVD did with John Cena. That Hammerstein Ballroom, I was there. John Cena had no chance in hell walking out with that championship. And if he did, I will tell you, all your little pickets and movements, there would have been a movement at the Hammerstein Ballroom.
Oh, yeah.
Trust me. I've never been in a more hostile crowd in my life.
That was the greatest live crowd I've ever witnessed on television. I watched that in the living room, wherever I was in South Jersey at the time. The greatest crowd ever. I can only imagine what it was like being there.
Oh, I have, I know The Rock and his goosebumps when he does it, but I legitimately have goosebumps talking about that atmosphere. And it's something you will never be able to duplicate because WWE will probably never go back there. But I will tell you that crowd at the Hammerstein Ballroom was something you had to be there. It was special. And I think we could have that at the Garden if Cody calls his shot.
I like it. I don't like the way we've gotten here, but if they're going to do that and Cody's not going to get added this Thursday, which, by the way, I believe Drew and I are going to be covering, we'll be doing something for a little bit after the presser, I think. We got to talk about it more in detail, but I'm sure a lot of pertinent information is going to come out of that Thursday press conference. But I like that. I don't like the way we've gotten here. I could see those two main events playing out the way that we detailed. I know Sami Zayn, going back to what happened on Monday Night Raw, Sami Zayn was featured in a sit-down interview on Monday night, and he really wants to be a champion. Now, at the same time, Drew, we got Jey Uso confronting Gunther for the Intercontinental title on Monday Night Raw. If we're going to continue booking WrestleMania here, I know a lot of people were like, well, let's do Gunther and Rollins. I was one of them, but clearly we're not going in that direction yet. What are we doing with Gunther and the IC title? I believe what they're doing here is setting up Jey and Gunther for the Elimination Chamber. Now, we talked about this last week. Gunther has visa issues, apparently. You said it. I don't know why TKO, a mega corporation like Endeavor, is not going to take care of that for him. I do believe that they are setting that up for the Chamber. And potentially, we could be looking at Gunther versus Sami Zayn for WrestleMania for the IC title. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I don't hate that. I think Sami Zayn's promo Monday Night Raw shows you that he's a primetime player for this year and possibly in the next year, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's holding that World Heavyweight Championship sooner rather than later, but I don't hate Gunther versus Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania. I mean, Jimmy and Jay for the Intercontinental Championship would be something too. That'd have Dwayne's fingerprints all over it, though.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to go on that. First of all, I'm not even too keen on Jimmy versus Jay because they haven't done anything to really tell that story outside of them being number 1 and number 2 in the Royal Rumble. I mean, they have to get us there first.
Gunther talked about it though. Like the thing with Gunther, his promo was very much like, hey, you're only here because of your brother. So Jimmy could screw Jay at Elimination Chamber, that furthering in their storyline. So him winning the championship might be out of the picture. But I love Sami Zayn and Gunther. I like that booking decision. And I think that's creative by you. I like that.
So, I mean, clearly Dwayne is saving WrestleMania, but WrestleMania is going to end up being a solid show from top to bottom anyway. And that's not even the tip of the iceberg. We got, the ladies, Becky versus Rhea is going to take place. Drew pitched, which I think if they wanted another women's match or two on the show, we could do Jade versus Nia. Nia's going to have a spot at WrestleMania now with Dwayne in charge.
That's happening.
And I said on SmackDown Friday with Tiffany Stratton, love Tiffany Stratton, with her now debuting on the main roster and now up full time, I would book Tiffany Stratton versus Bianca Belair at WrestleMania.
Ooh, I mean, I don't hate it. I think you got to protect Tiff. So maybe a 6-woman's tag, or maybe she goes for the tag title. I don't hate that at all. I really don't. I think we wait and see with Bianca. I think Bianca could have a high profile match. I'm not discrediting Tiffany Stratton. I'm just saying, Bianca's like the measuring stick. She's, top of the top. So I don't know just yet about Tiff and her and Bianca. What about Naomi and Bianca?
I could see that. I could see that too. I could see that. I mean, the SmackDown women's roster is stacked with what they added over there.
I also want to paint a visual for all you knuckleheads, because somebody told me to call him a knucklehead in the chat. We're at Madison Square Garden. Cody wins the undisputed WWE Championship. His family's all in the front row. Dusty pops on that screen. Cody raises the championship to Dusty, balls his eyes out. What a visual. What a baby face. What a hero.
Yeah. Listen, it's going to happen. I just wish that they didn't fucking make everything feel utterly useless and irrelevant on Friday. I mean,
they devalued the Royal Rumble. They devalued everything. Cody Rhodes pointing and making that decision. They devalued a lot of things.
So, we'll see what happens on Thursday. Thursday is going to be a very telling night for sure. With the WrestleMania main event seemingly to be announced in Las Vegas with this presser. They've been building to it all week. So we will have you guys covered over there on the presser. Being that this was the biggest story all week, and seemingly every day there was more information coming out about it, I'm going to pitch it to you, Drew. I don't know what else you want to talk about or where else do you want to go. I got some Vince McMahon stuff here. I mean, I don't really care to talk about Vince until we get some more solid happenings there and he's taken to court. But what do you got on your end that you want to talk about?
I think WWE has done a good job, and I kind of want to get your take on this. WWE has done a good job, I would say, in terms of like the community kind of burying the whole Vince McMahon thing, right?
Yeah.
With this whole Rock and Cody and Roman thing. Do you think that's by design?
You mean the fact that they took away the Vince McMahon aura about the bad news of Vince McMahon away from the news articles and the dirt sheets?
Yeah, I mean, no one's talking about anything that's going on.
Of course, it was done by design. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't hurt them, but at the end of the day, we're gonna have to go back to that anyway. It's not gonna go away when all this smoke clears for WrestleMania. Where do you think we're gonna go back? Hey, what's Vince up to? Yeah. What type of NDAs are out there, man? How are these NDAs now null and void? What's Janelle Grant adding? What's Johnny A's doing? We're gonna go back to it.
Yeah. Well, and more news is gonna trickle out. That's why I think Dwayne's back. I will say to you, WWE did a $2.2 million gate at Survivor Series in Chicago. Man, I mean, I don't know how they get any hotter. I mean, I think the Royal Rumble gate's gonna be massive.
How many of those people kind of went on a whim and went there because they felt CM Punk was coming back? Not many.
Probably a lot.
What?
Probably a lot. But I will say this: do you think you think Survivor Series ever gets moved out of these arenas? Because we haven't seen Survivor Series. I know it's November, so you got to be careful doing maybe a stadium or an outdoor venue. But do you think Survivor Series gets moved to a bigger stadium show, kind of like what SummerSlam became and the Rumble has become?
No, I don't think we're at that point yet. The way I think we get there is if we book a little bit more of an adult war games. I mean, we come for war. We come for a little bit of color, but they've definitely taken the safe route with these war games matches. I think 18 to 20,000 seat arenas is fine for war games. I think that creates a nice little ambiance there. But who knows if War Games is going to be a thing every year? I mean, it seems like it's going to end up being a chore every year to book faction versus faction, have it mean something, have it make sense, have it be interesting. We'll
have
see
the factions be the focal point of the show. Said shows. Yeah. Right. I agree with you there. Now I want to talk about the convolutedness of the Elimination Chamber and what the Rock and what Cody did on Friday night makes the Elimination Chamber match for the men convoluted and almost devalued. And I want your take on this. If The Rock enters the Elimination Chamber, we could just knock that one out. The Rock's winning it. But now, if The Rock just gets Roman at WrestleMania and Cody picks Seth at WrestleMania, that leaves a huge void because the men need to have a chamber, right? They're not just going to have one match one chamber match in Perth. The women are already lock, stock, and barrel. It's for the opportunity to fight Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania. This leaves a huge storyline gaping hole. They're going to make a chamber for the United States Championship, an opportunity there. Miss me with that. No, miss me with it. Probably. Even the Intercontinental Championship, miss me with it.
I mean, what are they going to do? I mean, if they, they could announce men's participants for the chamber to wrestle Seth Rollins, but at that point, who's going to win it? Who's going to win it but Drew McIntyre? But why do they need it? If Thursday we'll find out, but why would they need a men's chamber if Cody's already going after Rollins because The Rock wanted to interject himself into the Roman Reigns title match?
Right, and these are the things I'm saying. Like this, the way that they booked The Rock's interjection into WrestleMania was dumb. So
maybe we get a Logan Paul elimination chamber. We're getting the women because we have qualifying matches.
LA Knight wins that one, and we get LA Knight and Logan Paul at WrestleMania like we predicted months ago.
Yeah. I mean, that could be a way to find out who Logan Paul's opponent is. I mean, he's not, I don't see him being in the chamber. I see him wrestling Kevin Owens at the Elimination Chamber, but maybe we find an opponent for him through the Elimination Chamber. Again, I'm not for that because I don't really deem that title that valuable to have a whole fucking chamber match for it. But
and this is the thing, storyline driven, TV driven material. WWE is 52 weeks out of the year. You know, it's every week. It's live content every Monday, Friday, and PLEs once a month. The Rock's insertion into this whole thing has devalued not only the Rumble to a certain extent, but now the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
Business is business, but storyline wise, was this really worth it, guys? That's the question.
No, to me, it's not worth it. How do we get McIntyre involved in the world title match if we do go to a triple threat match? Because he's going to be involved in some way, shape, or form. Does he have to wrestle Cody to get that match and beat Cody? Does Cody take a loss on the way to WrestleMania?
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Well, how do we get him in there then?
That'd be some real dumb shit.
He's already lost twice to Rollins, and I mean,
if you sit back and you beat Cody going into WrestleMania, you know, was it Shawn put his championship opportunity on the line against Owen at an In Your House, and Shawn won and all that other stuff? I could see Drew continuously inserting himself not only in Cody's matches, but the press conference and all that other stuff where he's, like I said, like a gnat at a barbecue that you got to get away. That's what you do, because you can't. The more L's Cody takes, you know, on the big stages, the worse this is going to get. And the vocal minority is going to become the vocal majority if he starts losing all the way to WrestleMania. No thanks.
Yeah, I don't know how we get McIntyre involved here, but we will keep a close eye on that. Again, he's lost everything for that world championship. I mean, I don't know where he fits as far as him being a contender, but again, WWE.
Seth said that on Monday too. Wait, whoa, big man. Every time me and you have had a match, you've lost.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the other thing. Cody beats Seth at WrestleMania. Okay, 0-4. Cody really finished his story. Cody don't give a shit about that title.
Yeah. I do have some other things we could talk about here. First of all, Pat McAfee and Michael Cole are the commentary team on Monday Night Raw. Corey Graves and Wade Barrett were the team on Friday. It was their first night on the job. Corey Graves, first time doing play-by-play. What'd you think of Corey Graves? I thought he did an admirable job. Clearly, you heard him a little nervous sitting behind the booth there, but I think at the end of it, he's going to fit right into that role. I don't know if WWE is still looking for somebody, but I think they got the right guy in Corey Graves right now, and he's just fucking great at what he does.
Corey Graves is a dog. I love Corey Graves. He does a really good job. Wade Barrett has, really taken the next step in that department in terms of delivery, cadence, all that stuff. Wade Barrett has really grown leaps and bounds, and I think that's a testament to working with Michael Cole. Pat McAfee is Pat McAfee. You put Pat McAfee on whatever show you're deeming the A show. That's why he was on SmackDown. And Pat and Cole have a unique dynamic. Pat is a superstar, and Pat is polarizing, and that's why you have him on Monday Night Raw. And I think Wade Barrett has done a very, very good job. And Corey Graves was getting flowers years ago, and he continues to just get better and better. And again, I think that's all a testament to Michael Cole and the work he's put in with these guys. Just like we have 5,000 people sitting in here watching us on a Tuesday night because of the work that we've put in. And Corey Graves has continued to get better.
Yeah, there is a commentary note here in regards to CM Punk. Fightful Selectors reported that Punk was present backstage at last week's SmackDown, which was very interesting. I don't know if he had a little crossing of the paths there of The Rock, but that remains to be seen. While he was also reportedly at the Performance Center in recent days helping out WWE stars down there. Fightful also released some quotes from their upcoming interview with CM Punk's close friend Ace Steel, who said that WWE wants Punk to do commentary during his time away from the ring. But Steele stated that he doesn't want to see his friend in the commentary booth or on any other screen role due to the way he was written out of television after Drew McIntyre's attack on him on the Raw after the Royal Rumble. He also mentioned that he doesn't want Punk on the same show as McIntyre during his rehab due to how the storyline with Drew McIntyre has unfolded. Steele pointed out that Punk might consider attacking McIntyre despite being injured if he's in an on-screen role, which wouldn't make sense considering how he's not cleared to wrestle. Punk has been a guest commentator on a number of WWE occasions, as well as in AEW, and he is the commentator for Cage Fury Fighting Championships. Drew, I like this aspect of Punk being on commentary, but I wouldn't do it on Raw. I certainly wouldn't do it on SmackDown because he's got nothing to do with that brand. Why doesn't he sit next to Vic Joseph on Tuesday night if he's going to be helping the kids down at the Performance Center?
Nah. I mean, he could if they want to get him like reps, quote unquote, but Punk doesn't need reps on commentary. We've seen it before. He's really good.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's the case. And Drew McIntyre has continued to push the CM Punk feud, and Punk is months away from returning. So they could continue that storyline, that build, all that other stuff by having Punk sitting at the desk on Monday nights, maybe, or even at PLEs. I wouldn't do it every week. I think that's a mistake because then it starts to like fall on deaf ears and how many times Drew McIntyre going to look at Punk and all that other stuff. But I think maybe this starts to happen maybe after WrestleMania because I think Drew's going to be involved in that World Heavyweight Championship.
He might not even be there. Who the fuck knows? He may be out.
And Punk sitting at commentary during WrestleMania is smart because they get Punk on WrestleMania.
Yeah, I like that a lot. And good on Ace Steel for actually thinking with a logical fucking head. You can't have him on Monday Night Raw. I mean, he was attacked by the guy that he's probably going to start feuding with when he comes back. And if he's on commentary, he's going to want to get involved. And why would you want that? I like it.
Yeah, I agree.
I know you mentioned this on Twitter, and I loved this change. Apparently, WWE's changed the start time for WrestleMania. It is now 6:30 p.m. Eastern, with a pre-show starting at 4:30. Why did they make this change, Drew? I know it was going to start at 8 o'clock, and they changed it to 7. And then the latest graphic I saw said 6:30. Why did they make the change for WrestleMania 40 in Philadelphia?
Well, I believe the 6:30 start will probably be like the pre-show stuff, maybe a pre-show match, or if they go live at 6:30, good on them. I just believe that what they're trying to do is really fit this in the 4-hour window, 6:30 to 10:30, and be out. You know, it's a stadium. They got to let people get out of the stadium, their crew, all that other stuff. There might be a curfew. You know, they have to pay. They might not due to the city bidding on it, but police presence, all that other stuff. It's a lot. So if you could get that all, out by midnight and the fans are out of the building and all this other stuff, that's a win. And I think that's why they're doing this because, man, I don't know if you've been, but all the plaques behind me that WWE sent me when I was working WrestleManias, those were marathon days and they were marathon shows. You would sit in that seat for like 7 hours. It was brutal. And sometimes the show didn't go off the air. WrestleMania 35, as soon as Ronda hit Becky won, we booked it. We didn't stay around for the celebration, nothing, because it was midnight. It was like 12:15. So I'm happy that they're doing this. And I think it has a lot to do with the fans and being able to digest 4 hours of content and then getting everybody out of there.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think this means that the earlier they start, the longer the night's going to be. I don't think they're going to book fucking 10, 11 matches on one night and then 10, 11 matches on the other night. I think
4 hours in and out.
Yeah, I think we're going to get a solid 7 max, maybe 8 matches for WrestleMania night 1 and night 2. Triple H didn't go above and beyond that for last year's WrestleMania. So 3.5 hours out. And then us as content creators, we can come on here and talk about it. Not at 12 o'clock, but maybe at 10:30. I like the sound of that.
And remember, WWE is switching to a more sports-based oriented programming. So they're going to look at things and they'll be like, okay, where are people's attention spans? Content consumption and live events. Okay, 4 hours is kind of that sweet spot. And don't forget, WWE's got to do a post-show press conference each of these nights.
Yep. We are going to shift some gears over to AEW. So we got some big news happening in AEW. Believe it or not, it's going to be a big AEW week. We got a great show tomorrow night for Dynamite, loaded. And then Tony Khan has a big announcement. Now, clearly, a lot of people make fun of Tony Khan's big announcements. He's got an important announcement, a groundbreaking announcement that's going to level the wrestling industry, whatever the case may be. But this announcement was supposed to take place, believe it or not, the Saturday of the Royal Rumble, which I thought would have been a fucking huge mistake. But he delayed this announcement because of the Vince McMahon lawsuit. And now on Wednesday, Drew, we're getting this big announcement. Now, if you read between the lines on what the announcement may be, some speculation going around is that Mercedes Moné is at least going to be teased via this big announcement. And Dave Meltzer says that it could be her signing or the announcement of Dynamite being held in Boston on March 13th, which right now is a huge, gaping, wide open hole in their calendar. They got no date there. So people are thinking that's going to be Mercedes' debut. Meltzer says, I presume the announcement's going to be a Boston show and Mercedes' debut, but it could be a double announcement. He also mentioned Okada being a free agent. We could get a 2-for-1 deal here on tomorrow night's show. But Meltzer noted that there could be a thing where Okada can't work shows until February 24th because he's a free agent right now, and he's continuing to work out his New Japan dates through this free agency period. Have you heard anything from the announcement? And I know Andrew Zarin, again, on his show this week was claiming that we're going to get a couple of bank statements from Tony Khan thrown out there. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we called this,
Yeah.
you know, I said it in November that Monet was AEW bound. Just they picked, you know, the right time, the right place. Obviously, they wanted to get her fully healed. But yeah, I think Tony Khan's announcement is Mercedes Moné. They could parlay it with the TD Garden announcement if that's where they're headed. But I don't think Tony's going to come on AEW TV and just be like, hey, I just want to let you guys know for the first time ever, AEW Dynamite is headed to the TD Garden and then be like, see ya.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think, you know, we could say that we could have the video package of, and this person will be signing her contract live in that ring or debuting, blah, blah, blah. I think it's a 2-for-1 deal. And the Okada to NXT stuff that was trending on Sunday was hysterical.
Yeah, I watched the show on Sunday night. It was a decent show. I mean, I just feel the same kind of emptiness watching an NXT show. But I got to give Ilya Dragunov and Trick Williams credit. That was a fantastic main event. But the vignette that people were talking, yeah, it was like it was some Japanese proverb that showed up on the screen, and then we saw some multicolored something on the screen, and a lot of people were like, "Oh my God, is it Okada?" I'm like, why would Okada go to NXT? I mean, what a slap in the fucking face. Then people were like, well, maybe it's Julia. No, it's not either one of these people.
I think if Okada was going to WWE, he would definitely train in the Performance Center with Shawn Michaels to get his TV ready, for WWE TV ready, boys and girls. But that vignette is not for Okada.
No, we don't have any idea for all we know who it could be. So I mean, it could be some fucking Performance Center, you know, up and comer. Who knows? But everybody's freaking out about it. Sapp did say that Mercedes is going to AEW, so he's kind of put his name behind that one. So I mean, run with that if you want. I don't know why you wouldn't believe him. So I mean, we told you fucking back in October during Wrestle Dream what was going on. So she's coming, and it may be the announcement on Wednesday. Drew, I know a lot of people were upset about the rankings for AEW. I don't know if you see the rankings on their website, the AEW rankings. Tony Khan tweeted them out on Wednesday night. I mean, how you feeling about John Silver and Alex Reynolds being number 2 in the tag team rankings, man? Oh my God, this
storyline driven companies and wins and losses for stuff that's, you know, the rankings help people understand, I guess, who's getting title shots without having to like book storylines that coincide with that. But I will never like take the rankings to heart. I get it. It like helps people understand, but for me, no thanks.
I want to go for this just to see your sheer reaction. First of all, we got rankings here for the men's. They don't give any of the men's championships their own rankings. They got them lumped together on their website. Samoa Joe, Christian Cage, Orange Cassidy, and Eddie Kingston with that now irrelevant Continental title. None of these champions have any rankings for themselves. 1 through 5 here. We got Swerve number 1, Hangman number 2, Adam Copeland number 3, which makes sense. He's got the Cope open. He's going after Christian Cage. John Moxley's number 4. Don't know why he's there unless he's going after Eddie Kingston's title. And Roderick Strong, number 5. Clearly, we know he's going after Orange Cassidy's title. That's the top 5. I don't know why none of these championships have their own top 5. I mean, is it that difficult to go out there and produce your own top 5 for each one of these titles?
They could. I mean, and if they really like, here's the thing with, I urge Tony and AEW, if you're going to go in, go all in, right? Go all in. Have your top 5 contenders for the world, your top 5 for the TNT, your top 5 for the Triple Crown, and your top 5 for the international. Is that what it's called? The international championship?
Yeah.
So, I mean, do that. And that way fans could kind of like, okay, basically what this is, you know, Hangman and Swerve have to be 1 and 2 because they're fighting for the opportunity to fight for the world title. Again, I just think the ranking stuff, if you're going to go all in, go all in. Like everything should be separated. And I'm not going to pay attention to the rankings. I'm going to pay attention to what they're showing me on television.
Tag Team Championship rankings, Sting and Darby Allin makes sense. They're going after the titles tomorrow night. John Silver, Alex Reynolds, number 2. I don't know what the fuck they've done on television.
You see this shit on TV. You see that playing out on TV. So what's the purpose of the rankings? Just so that fans can feel warm and fuzzy?
Yeah, basically. Brian and Claudio, number 3. Private Party, number 4. Orange Cassidy and Trent Beretta, number 5. I don't know what the fuck they've done on television outside of one match. The women, they've lumped Julia and Timeless Tony Storm together. Julia Hart, that is. Deonna Purrazzo, number 1. Thunder Rosa, number 2. Hikaru Shida. I don't remember when we saw Shida on television last. Number 3. Sky Blue, number 4. Mariah May, who's been there for a fucking half a scone and a cup of coffee. Number 5. And then we got the Trios champions. The Acclaimed and Daddy Ass. Contenders are Bullet Club Gold, who have the Ring of Honor 6-man titles at number 1. Hardys and Mark Briscoe, number 2. Mm-hmm. Dark Order, number 3. FTR and Daniel Garcia, number 4. Hey, there you go. The FTR's in the top 5. You would figure they'd be in the top 5 for the tag team, but they're in the trios. And then House of Black rounds out the top 5 for the trios. I tweeted Tony, and I was contemplating whether to do it or not because I don't know if he really gives a shit or not. But I said, Tony, these rankings are already convoluted and illogical. Why don't individual championships have their own contenders? Why is everybody lumped into one? What are those tag team rankings? John Silver and Alex Reynolds haven't done anything, and it seems like you're calculating dark matches into the win-loss records. Why? Mariah May has won 2 matches, and Sky Blue has won only 1 in all of January. How is she above Mariah May? Do not go and do what you did last time and calculate stuff from Dark, the Jericho Cruise, and Ring of Honor. Unless it's AEW TV, it shouldn't matter. I feel like this will be a vehicle to push what you want instead of remaining true to the win-loss records and what they really are. Don't let this be a crutch to a point where we don't tell story. Maybe this should have waited until we were a little further along in the year. Am I wrong?
No, I mean, I get what you're saying. Like I said, if they're going to go in, they should go all in with the rankings. They should have, individual rankings. But again, I am going to pay attention to what you put on your television program because that's what I'm investing my time and effort into. It. Cool. I could read your rankings, but make the rankings mean something. Yeah. And if you're going to, this is kind of like the rankings for now. We'll see where they go. But again, I'm going to pay attention to what you put on your television program weekly. I thought Collision was better than Dynamite. I'll say that. I don't really care. Besides the, the Swerve and Hangman stuff, Collision was head and shoulders above Dynamite. I think the Undisputed Kingdom is horrible right now. I think they need to be the group that is completely destroying and dismantling a show. I don't care whether it's Dynamite or whether it's Collision, but you need to reignite that flame of the Undisputed Kingdom. Have them be like half-ass NWO where they're just beating the shit out of everybody and taking over a show. If you want to do it on Collision, go for it. And again, I said this after watching Dynamite. We need a hard brand split. Yeah. I know a lot of people are against it, but we need it, Tony. You need it. You need it. You maximize your television time with all these stars. You need it. And the CML stuff, I didn't like it on Wednesday because we really did not. I wasn't told why they were there and everything else like that and what the backstory was. Collision did add some dynamics to that, so I'm a little bit invested. But again, split the goddamn rosters.
Apparently, the CMLL stuff will potentially bleed its way into the Forbidden Door pay-per-view, Drew. This is in the news as well. The CMLL and AEW partnership, they have entered into a working relationship. This started back in October of 2023. That led to Mystico and Rocky Romero on Rampage. Their partnership expanded in early 2024 with several CMLL talents being featured on AEW programming. As of late, several of these men have teamed together against Matt Menard, Angela Parker, Christopher Daniels, and Matt Sydal. That's a great interest right there. On Rampage. And then one of them faced Bryan Danielson on Collision. Now, there will be potentially involvement with CMLL into the Forbidden Door pay-per-view, and that right now is being discussed.
Okay.
So, I mean, I don't know
Make
if that's
me care.
Yeah.
That's what I'll tell you. Make me care. I don't know who these gentlemen are. Collision did a really good job of telling me that, like, who some of these gentlemen were. Do that again. You need to make me invest in who these gentlemen are, because otherwise I don't know and I don't have any reason to care. Again, I understand that your demographic for the majority is the hardcore demographic, but you need to explain who these gentlemen are to the non-hardcore fans who don't watch CMLL. I barely watch NXT. I mean, I'll watch it at my leisure, but like there's so much wrestling to consume, and you want me to just, okay, here's a guy from CMLL. Okay, who the hell is this guy?
Yeah.
Why should I care that? Wait, he's beating down Moxley? They're ringside? Why? Tell me why. I shouldn't have to find it. Tell me why.
This Forbidden Door pay-per-view is probably going to be the worst of them all this year, honestly. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. I'm just saying the concept's dead. I mean, you're basically poaching New Japan. We've talked about this. It's not going to be the same, and I feel like it's going to be. Drew feels the same way. This may be the end of the road. This is the last show that we get, maybe at the Tokyo Dome this year, and then goodbye.
The novelty is weared off. We're done. We're done with the Forbidden Door. I think Tony feels it. I think he knows it. It's a lot of work, and I think they should. I think, all signs point to the Tokyo Dome, and I think that's a perfect send-off for the Forbidden Door. Because truthfully, you've gotten every matchup you could possibly really want. That's a quote-unquote dream matchup. And 90% of the guys and girls that you really wanted are already in AEW.
Yeah.
So be done.
Mick Foley, speaking of, novelty, I think we'll end with this because this is all I got on my end. Mick Foley, he plans, first of all, he ended his podcast. This was the final episode in which he made this quote here. Mick Foley plans to drop 100 pounds so we could have one final death match. Now, I know what you guys are probably thinking. No, please. No, God. No. But Mick Foley said this about his death match dreams here at the age of 60. 60's right around the corner. I'm thinking of doing one final match for my 60th birthday, death match. I think it'd be a great incentive to drop those 100 big ones, meaning pounds, and I think it might be fun. And then he goes on to say, no, not in WWE. I think it would be a pretty gory spectacle. I'm just thinking about it. I put it out there to the two kids, and they were like, would you get hurt? And I said, yeah, probably. I wouldn't have got my brain rattled, but I'm not adverse to getting a few stitcheroonies here and there. I mean, it won't be for everyone, and rightfully like, well, that's not good for you. It could help me lose 100 pounds, but that's what I'm missing. I did drop the 100, but I had the WrestleMania thing. I was already down 50. I had Vince in my ear where I made the promise to him that I would be down 80, but I don't have any type of incentive, so it's something I'm throwing out there. This time next year, we might have to revisit that option, and then clearly he goes on to say it would either be against Moxley or Matt Cardona. I think Moxley would be the easiest, but Matt
did say that?
But Matt has the heat in the deathmatch world. That could really make it something cool. Yeah, he did say that.
Nah. I had no idea that Foley named two possible opponents, but for me, it's Mox or nothing. Love Matt Cardona. Shout out, Long Island guy, killing it. I understand he's like the undisputed king of death matches now, but no. And for the absolute knucklehead who tweeted at me and said, we saw the Mox and Foley match in like Deep South. I don't give a shit that you saw this match in Deep South. I mean, give me a break. That was Dean Ambrose. I mean, look, they were calling him John Moxley. That match never took place. And here, I'll tell you this. Mick Foley has a death match.
Here's the deal.
I'm there. Here's the deal. Mick Foley has a death match. I'm there. I'm there because Mick knows he can't go out and give you a classic. It was never Mick's style anyway. Mick was a hell of a worker. But if Mick is going to do a death match, and drop 100 pounds. You want to talk? He said it's going to be a gory spectacle. I'm in. Not a fan of the death matches, but I'm in for Mick. And it's got to be Mox. Mox or nothing. If it's Cardona, I'll still be there, but I want to see Mox. Mox and Foley. Man, that's a match.
Well, clearly, Mox is the bigger name. Take nothing away from Matt Cardona. I think it would probably be a safer match with Matt Cardona.
They're not having this match in AEW either, folks. That's not happening.
Well, I mean, Tony loves his fucking ECW shit, so
I
wouldn't be surprised.
I think Conrad will do like a Ric Flair's last match. He's going to do Foley's last match.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see Conrad being all over that. Maybe they do a tag team match and protect Foley for a little bit. I mean, I don't want to see him wrestle a whole fucking match by himself, though I think it would probably be a lot better than what Ric Flair did if Mick Foley wanted to get involved. I mean, he's almost 20 years younger than Ric Flair. But
JD, it's a safe bet, buddy. He's doing a death match. I mean, it's all about the spectacle and the blood and the guts and the chair shots.
I mean, what about a tag team match to protect him a little bit more?
Yeah.
Maybe Moxley and Sami Callihan versus Foley and Cardona. Who knows? I don't know.
You could. I'd still be there. But if you're going to go Foley's retirement match and it's a death match, Foley versus Mox. Yeah, do it. Yeah. Foley versus Mox, main event, tied into SummerSlam weekend. I'm there.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, man, that's all I got on my end, unless you got anything we could get into these super chats.
Yeah, well, I want to get into the super chats because it's your birthday, but I want to say this. I wanted your take on what I'm about to say, and you tell me if you think it's right nor wrong. A lot of people have been clamoring. We touched on it a little bit, but a lot of people have been clamoring for Roman to work both nights at WrestleMania, right? I think it's a giant mistake, and I'll explain why. Roman versus Cody, night 1. Let's just put this in perspective. Cody wins the WWE Universal Championship because everyone, we got to finish the story, right? Okay. Wins it. Roman's stock plummets against The Rock night 2. So there's I don't see the point of that match. Do you honestly, and even if you did vice versa, Rock versus Roman Reigns for the head of the table, and then the winner gets Cody Rhodes. Cody's not Samoan. It makes no sense. Do you really think that that's a logical presentation and it's marketable?
Absolutely. If Roman beats The Rock, sure, why not?
And then takes on Cody night 2?
Yeah.
You think that's logical? All right.
I mean, I don't mind that. I would rather that than a triple threat match, to be honest with you. I don't feel like, though the triple threat match would open up WWE to the possibility of not pinning Roman Reigns and Cody pinning The Rock. Again, like you said before, I don't see Rock, or like you don't see Rock doing that. But, Roman losing the championship without Cody pinning him, I don't want to see that. Roman not being pinned at all, I don't want to see that. Roman has to be pinned, and he has to lose the championship by being pinned by Cody Rhodes. So unless we're doing that, I don't see WWE being willing to do that in those situations. But yeah, I like that double main event deal. I mean, Roman beating Rock would give him it would give him the superpowers going into Sunday night, and then Cody beats the guy that beat The Rock on night 1. I think it plays off very well. I don't know. Maybe I'm just alone in that.
I don't see how Cody has any involvement in this now after what he did on Friday. And
no, I think you convinced me that we're getting Cody, McIntyre, and Rollins at WrestleMania. I really do. Yeah. I hope I'm wrong. I hope they weave something into it with Cody, but I'm not holding my breath for Thursday, honestly.
Prediction, by the way, I think Sting and Darby win the tag team championships tomorrow night.
Really?
Yes.
You don't think the Young Bucks interject into that? Well, it's a Texas Tornado match, so there's no rules, but we could realistically see that match end with the Young Bucks interfering and then taking that away from Sting. But again, then you have to think about, does Tony want to beat Sting and Darby? No, probably not. I don't know.
And I think the Bucks versus Sting and Darby at Revolution for the tag team titles, where Sting and Darby drop the titles.
Yeah.
I think that's
and it plays into the whole EVP aspect of the Bucks' new character. I like it.
Right. And they're just mega heels.
And by the way, tomorrow night we're getting Paige and Swerve number 3. Should be a banger. And I think we got some CMLL stuff happening on tomorrow's show, and then Tony's big announcement. That tag team title match is happening. It's going to be a big Dynamite from Phoenix, man. They got about 6,000 in the venue tomorrow night, so I'm glad it's not 1,500 like we've been getting, but should be loud.
Again, the sky's not falling down just because live attendance numbers aren't up. It's not a great sign, but it's not the end of the world. There's other avenues and measuring sticks for business. every company goes through it. WWE went through it, continues to go through it. Now they're red hot. But Swerve, going back to Swerve and Page, man, I think that goes the limit. I think we get a draw.
Yeah,
Just me.
30-minute time limit draw for sure.
Yep.
Guys, thank you very much for all of your support here on the show. You killed it. We had upwards towards 5,000 people in here on a Tuesday night. So you guys kicked ass. Drew and I expected a big turnout because this is a big story, big topic. It's not going to let up. And we appreciate your overwhelming support here. Follow us on social media at JD from NY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Cameo. Follow Drew at Andrew Baydala on X. Make sure you guys continue to hit that thumbs up. We got 15. We're about at 1,500 likes on my end, so make sure you guys continue to hit that thumbs up. Memberships are open. Content is on the channel. A lot of it. Go check it out. And I'm going to make a quick detour here and check and see what we just hit 155,000 tonight.
There you go. Congratulations. Happy birthday.
Thank you, guys.
What a gift.
What a gift. Thank you guys very much, man. Much appreciated. You guys are killing it lately, and it's only going to get better. And if you guys are new around here, Drew and I are live every Tuesday. So if you enjoyed what you saw here, if you enjoyed what you heard, we are live every Tuesday.
And we'll be live covering the WrestleMania press conference. JD's going to cover Dynamite with Jesse tomorrow. Man's always on the air.
There you go. Michael Krause with a $5 super chat. Good day, JD and Drew. Thank you for your hard work. Happy birthday, JD. Thank you, Michael. I hope you have a great day. Hashtag we want Cody. Hashtag pivot, LOL. Yeah, everybody's favorite word this week. And thank you again, JD and Drew. Michael, thank you, brother.
Michael, thank you.
Tony Clayton with a $9.99. Happy birthday, JD. You and Drew make my long commute to work enjoyable. I want to believe WWE will change their mind and do Cody versus Roman. I just don't see Rock allowing it at this point, unfortunately. Well, Drew doesn't see it either. I'm hoping on a wing and a prayer that something changes, but I'm not holding my breath, brother.
That's what it's all about. Whether you like me, you don't like me, whether you like JD, you don't like JD. What it is about is us giving you content to get through your day, and hopefully you dig it. Thank you for always showing up.
Vinny with a $9.99. Happy birthday. Telling Cody he's facing Roman at Mania and completely lying to him is disgusting. Dwayne needs to get booed by the crowd everywhere. Dwayne is an egotistical maniac. Save Mania from him. Everybody was like, maybe he goes Hollywood Rock on this one. No.
Roman's the heel, so no.
Yes. Fleck Guapo with a $5 super chat. Is it Friday yet? I will be at SmackDown Live in Charlotte this Friday and definitely interested how the crowd will react to The Rock. If he's even there. We don't even know if he's there. But Cody's supposed to be there.
But you guys got to understand, keep your eyeballs peeled to the press conference. That's where Michael Cole even talked about it on Raw. Like they're telling you without telling you, hey, we're making our announcements at the press conference.
Michelle Moran with a $2 super chat. Rock, Roman night 1, Roman Cody night 2, both men happy. Yeah. It's probably not going to end that way, but it's definitely a narrative that's being discussed in the community. Mike
Rock's not coming back to take a back seat.
No. Yeah, you're probably right. Mike L with a $10 super chat. Rock is being so selfish, forcing him into a main event that doesn't need him. Cody Roman is the match, and that's the story. The Philly crowd will destroy Rock Roman if they go ahead with it. Yeah, I'm getting Royal Rumble 2015 vibes for sure.
Guys, it's an open-air stadium. I mean, you're right. When I look around at the crowd, I'm sure there'll be a lot of boos, but I'm telling you, that's not the way it's going to come across on TV. Remember how you thought the Rumble crowd was silent? And it's because of the building?
Yeah.
WWE is putting this in an open-air stadium. If you guys could boo that match out of the building in an open-air stadium and have it translate on television, boy, that's a feat.
MGM97 with a $9.99. Happy birthday, JD. Wanted to know if you guys will be hosting a show in person or a meet and greet for WrestleMania weekend. I think I'm going the approach of how you went for WrestleMania 33 and going if it's in Vegas next year. MGM, Drew and I will be in Philadelphia, and we will be doing a live show, I believe, that weekend early. Specifications to come on social media, but it's still early. But yeah, meet and greet should happen as well.
Yep. I'll be at WrestleMania.
Yeah. It's just a quick drive up the AC Expressway. Dylan Estrella with a $5 super chat. Always a pleasure to share a birthday with the best podcaster in the IWC. Happy birthday, JD. Cheers. Dylan, happy birthday.
There you go.
Brett Michael. Not the poison.
Not
Brett Michael, but.
All
right. What was his show, man? Rock of Love? I was an avid fan of that show. At this point, as much as I prefer Cody Roman at WrestleMania 40, if what I fear is true, And they're 100% set on Roman passing Hogan. One positive is Rock taking the L instead of Cody again. Much respect to both of you. Thanks. Yeah, but we don't even know. I mean, if the title's not on the line, is Rock selfish enough to beat Roman when that realistically should be Cody's?
Lord.
That's going to be the next discussion, man.
That can't happen.
No.
If you end Roman's reign with The Rock winning and then we have like a rematch in Saudi and Roman takes it back, no.
Awful.
No.
God.
But I will tell you, your Universal Heavyweight Champion, the title needs to be on the line at WrestleMania. I think that's a miss if it's not.
Yes, I absolutely agree. Moretz with the 20 months. Thank you, brother. Happy birthday, JD, the best in the IWC. Thank you. Beyond the Script with the $4.99. Happy birthday, JD, to a great friend. Love you, buddy. You too, Drew. Fuck the Dollar Tree watch party. No originals. Thought comments of the IWC. Listen, man. Drew was making a very indirect tweet earlier about just, I mean, if you're going to put yourself on social media, you're going to put yourself on YouTube, man, at least look good and sound good while doing it. You know, all these people got a lot of big mouths. They say a lot of negative shit to other creators in the community, especially me, yet they look like that. Come on.
These people talk down to some people on social media, and some of them have a very high following.
Yeah.
But they look like they're in their basement, or they look like they're in their dorm room. It costs $30 to get a green screen. You don't need to have glitz and glamour. Get something. Be presentable.
Oh, go to fucking Michael's and get a fucking green cloth for like $20.
Yeah, whatever, I don't understand. Man. You don't need the top of the tops, but at least get something. Make yourself look presentable. If you're going to be something, make sure you look the part, because y'all don't look the part.
Cody Snyder with a $2 super chat. Happy birthday, Chief 26 OTS TNT. Thank you, Cody. Lord J with a $42 super chat. I want to say thanks for everything you do. It may just be talking about pro wrestling, but it helps me get through my day, so I'll always appreciate that, and I hope you have a great birthday. Lord J, thank you very much, man.
Who would have thought two knuckleheads talking about professional wrestling would get you through your day?
Crazy, man. That's coming from the UK, man. The UK fans are fucking
awesome.
Great.
Davey, let me ask you a question before we get into one more super chat. I want to get this in. What do you think of a six-man after WrestleMania? Cody, Jay, and somebody else, and The Rock. I'm sorry, Cody, Jay, and The Rock taking on Roman, Jimmy, and Solo in a six-man tag. You in for it?
For Saudi, I'm in, yeah.
All right, there you go.
I would bring in Jacob Fatu and integrate him into the Bloodline at some point this year as well. Ooh, he's a free. I know Booker T wanted to get him in. Let's make it happen.
I'm saying that there might be a six-man coming our way.
OTS Tribal Queen with a 26 months. Happy birthday, JD. OTS for life. Thank you, Tribal Queen. Jefferson with a $4.99. Fuck Rock and Roman. Let's see JD versus Drew in a ladder match for Jesse's Pizza. Can you both tell me what finisher you would use for this instant classic?
Jesse's Pizza. Does Jesse have like special pizza?
Well, I mean, I guess the Chicago. Jesse don't even eat deep dish, but you know.
I'm going to make a statement. I'm probably going to get a lot of heat. Chicago deep dish pizza is garbage. There's only two type of pizzas in my world. It's New York style pizza and Detroit style pizza. Detroit style pizza is fantastic.
What's the difference between Detroit and New York pizza?
Well, New York pizza is, if you get a Sicilian, there's not much difference. But the New York pizza is, you can't beat it. It's the slice, the triangle. The Michigan Detroit style pizza is the kind of Sicilian-based pizza in terms of like shape, but it's got cheese crusted on the outside. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It's really good. If you haven't had it, go out of your way to get Detroit style pizza.
Sounds like it's right in my wheelhouse. Jefferson, thank you, brother. What would be my finish, man? I'll tell you what. I've actually grown to appreciate Baron Corbin. I think Baron Corbin's using a lot of NXT to his advantage. He's looked great with Braun Breaker. The End of Days has been one of my favorite finishing moves since I've seen it. So I would probably use End of Days.
I'll use Christian's finisher or RKO. You could hit it on anybody.
Yeah. Susan D'Ambrosio with a $2 super chat. Happy birthday, JD. You're the best. Thank you, Susan, as always, for all your support. Baby Shaq with a $1.99. Happy birthday, JD. OTS and hashtag TNT. Thank you, Baby Shaq. Corey Mitchell with a 10. You guys sleep on NXT, but what Sean has done with this show is remarkable. It's not black and gold, but I'll give him credit. He's made some improvements, and they got a very good roster.
I was on the NXT call for Vengeance Day, and Sean handled himself like an absolute pro.
Yeah. Travis Hayes and my guy Evil Genius, thank you for right in my wheelhouse. Fucking guys watching in the shadows, man. Yeah, right up my alley, bro. Hey, I can't say right up my alley. Not it's a little bit of a sus. Yeah, I see you shaking your head. Travis Hayes with a $9.99. Happy birthday, JD. Love y'all's passion. Been listening since episode 1. Do you guys think if creative goes the way it's currently heading, it could affect some of the upcoming free agent decision? That's a very good question, Drew. I'll leave that to you. I honestly think that it may sway some free agents to come to WWE if they start to see that the company creatively is swinging back to that old guard.
It's WrestleMania, so no. And as long as money talks and bullshit walks, no.
Yeah.
No. I mean, there might be 1 or 2 people, but no. I mean, if WWE is, it's still, no. Yeah, no.
Eric Aviles with 15 months. Thank you, brother. Hollywood Guy with 5 in Super Chat. If they change the match back to Cody versus Roman, do you see Cody winning, or will The Rock be pissed and demand Cody to lose as punishment of sorts? Well, as far as what you heard here, we don't think it's going back to Cody versus Roman.
I mean, if they could go to Cody Roman, but Cody said on SmackDown, not at WrestleMania. Yeah. I'm here to take everything from you, not at WrestleMania. We need to listen to what the performers are telling you.
Yeah. El Mulato with a $9.99. Happy birthday. 2 scenarios: Cody versus Roman, Hell in a Cell, Rock as referee, then build Rock versus Roman Reigns at 41, triple threat, make Cody stack him and pin him. First feud for Cody as champion, Nick Aldis. Man, oh man, El Mulato, you've been playing too much video games, bro. No, none of that is happening, man. Michelle with a $2 super chat. What if Rock can't go a full-length match? Well, according to the dirt sheets, he's going to attempt to work a full-length match at 51 years old. Rock. Rock and Roman.
I mean, you're not gonna. It's not. I mean, you want to talk about real heat? Could you imagine Roman squashes Rock like Lesnar Goldberg? Ooh-wee. That's not gonna happen, though. I mean,
imagine Dwayne blowing up after 5 minutes.
I mean, come on.
I'm not really expecting much from the match. It's more of a spectacle than anything. It's gonna be this generation's Andre versus Hulk. That's what it's gonna be.
15 minutes, 20 minutes top.
Yeah. Eddie Hazard with a $19.99. Happy birthday to the Don, the Capo, the GOAT, the Tribal Chief, the Great One, the Standard Bearer, the CEO. I get it. Thank you, brother. General Manager, Executive Chairman of the IWC. Birthday cake emojis in the chat. Thank you, Eddie. Appreciate the love, man. Rathwell, $2 super chat. Who the fuck do you guys think wins the chamber now? I don't even think there is a chamber.
LA Knight. And he gets Logan Paul. Because everything else would just be uncivilized.
Yes. Latoya Woods with a 4 months. She says simply hello. Hello, Latoya.
Hello.
Justin with a $1.99. Happy birthday, JD, and rest in peace to Toby Keith. Yes, indeed. 62 years old. 62 years young, Toby Keith.
Should have been a cowboy.
Isaac P with a $9.99. I do something that's never been done before. Have Damian defend his Money in the Bank contract at Mania in a multi-man ladder match. Give so many people a match at Mania that don't have a spot. If you're Damian Priest, they've already made him look like an idiot, not cashing in when he should have, and now you want him to defend his contract? No. Now he's cashing in at Mania. I think that's the right spot for him. And listen, man, he deserves it. Honestly, he's worked his ass off all year. Alexander with a $1.99. Been subscribed for 8 years. OTS for life. Thank you, Alexander. Happy to have you here, brother. Michelle with a 5. If Rock wanted to save WrestleMania, then where was he for the last 10 WrestleManias? If they go ahead with Rock and Roman with no Cody, could this turn into Brock Goldberg? I've seen some people talk about that. I went back and actually watched that Brock Goldberg match just to get a sense of what people were, doing as far as the comparison to that. Man, oh man, you don't want that type of crowd.
I was there, so no, you don't. But again, it was the Garden and it was closed.
Yeah. Cake with a 29 months. Punk's promo to Cody seems to have been done to test the waters for The Rock and Cody, and it has completely backfired. They lost their main. They lost their main to Dwayne. Yeah. Punk's promo to Cody rang a little bit too true, man. Honestly. Gerald Armstrong with a 5. Only options to salvage is 1, Cody beats Roman for the belt at Elimination Chamber, with help from Rock setting up Roman Rock at Mania, or 2, triple threat. You can't do Cody versus Roman at the Elimination Chamber, then it defeats the purpose of the Royal Rumble, because the Royal Rumble winner should get the main event of WrestleMania, not the Elimination Chamber. Cam G with a $20 super chat. First and foremost, happy birthday, JD. Second, I believe WWE has zero clue to what they're doing with WrestleMania's main event now. And that was made obvious by that god-awful Raw we saw Monday. Much love, OTS for life. Thank you, Cam G. Gerald Armstrong with a 2. At Rusty Wagner, triple threat it is. Jedi Joker, $5 Super Chat. Rumor has it Roman Reigns will only be playable once every 4 to 6 months in 2K24 to simulate real life. Comment of the night, Jedi. I love it. Lord Gasmic with a 5. The solution is easy. Unify the titles at WrestleMania 40. Cody versus Seth. Cody wins. Roman versus Rock. Roman wins. Cody versus Roman. Cody wins. Right last year's wrongs. No, we're not unifying titles, bro.
Yeah, no, we can't do that.
We just created this title last year. Now you want to get rid of it?
Can't do that.
Come on.
I had to fix my camera. Sorry, guys.
It's okay. Travis Hayes, $4.99. Would an October MSG TV show on Saturday not lose a lot of eyes to college football, especially with the new games due to realignment? I'll leave that one to you.
You know, I think right now is the time for AEW and WWE to capitalize off no football. I mean, there was like, it's a giant void for me to not have anything on Saturdays and Sundays of football. So a football substance. So I think AEW should really capitalize on Collision, and WWE should throw more specials out on maybe a Saturday or Sunday.
I'd love to see it. Deontay Smith with a $5 Super Chat. Doing Rock vs. Roman now leaves money on the table. It's the only match that can fill a 100,000 seat stadium. Why do it in Philly that only seats 65,000? It's a good question.
Well, again, they're getting more than 65,000. They're getting,
120, 140, yeah.
So.
West Coast Samoan with a 2. We have The Rock gives me a job at WWE. I got you, JD. No, you don't want to work for WWE. Not right now. Todd with the new membership. Thank you, brother. Sam with a $7.99. Don't believe Meltzer's report. If it were true, they could have had Rock win the Rumble or Punk win the Rumble. But Cody wins. Come on, you effing geeks. Seriously. Well, Punk wasn't going to win the Rumble because he was never scheduled to win the Rumble. And we're not going to call an audible there either.
And, maybe Punk was scheduled to win the Rumble, but we stated this again ad nauseum. When Seth Rollins' injury became apparent to WWE, I think they pivoted back to Cody, and Cody was the only safe bet to ensure a WrestleMania main event until the board struck.
Yeah. We have Obadiah with a new membership. Thank you, Obadiah. Captain Solo with a $2 Super Chat. Drew, you sound like Vince McMahon more and more. Pal. No.
To you, I'm a lot. No, I'm gonna leave that one.
No, he doesn't sound like Vince McMahon. I mean, he's got a good business mindset, man. I don't know what the fuck you want. Come on.
I'll take the billions of dollars. I just won't act like a complete jackass.
Brett Michael with a $4.99. Hot take. I can see the title not being on the line at Mania with Rock winning. Rematch in Saudi with the title on the line with Roman retaining before dropping it to Cody. No, Roman cannot lose a one-on-one match before he wrestles Cody Rhodes. I'm sorry. He's already been pinned by Jey Uso. And that kind of took a little bit away from the luster. You have him lose to a one-on-one Rock at WrestleMania, no. Now, you're going to defeat the whole fucking story at that point.
You can't have your biggest star who holds your most prestigious championship not put the title on the line at WrestleMania.
And The Rock already took the main event away from Cody. Now you want him to just dig that knife in the back even deeper? Come on.
Right. No.
John Ortalaza with a 5. Happy birthday, JD. I found the channel during Brawl Out when I wanted a voice in the community to tell me how it is. OTS never failed me. TNT is cinema. Thank you, John. We're cinema, bro. That's what the cool kids say.
Oh, yeah.
Dom Wapo with $4.99. All I'm hearing is that we, the fans, should not take the Rumble seriously anymore because if they turn Seth and Cody into a triple threat with Drew. I mean, yeah, you got a good point, Dom Wapo. I mean, what did Drew do to deserve a title match at WrestleMania unless he forces himself into a match by bullying Adam Pearce? I don't know. Even that point don't work.
Yeah, I mean, beating down Cody in every match he has or something. Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Well, maybe they'll make Cody look like an idiot. Hey, you want me? Let's do it at WrestleMania. I'll give you my title shot as well. Fuck out of here. Captain Solo at a 5. So let me get this straight, Drew. You think a 51-year-old man who's going to be gassed within 5 minutes is good business? The match will suck.
Guys, what WWE does between the ropes is like 25% of their business, man. It's all about getting the match in the middle of the ring, getting all those eyeballs on that match. Again, I'm going to state this again. Is this the match I want to see? No. Does the board care about that? No. Do they care about the internet wrestling community? No. They care about their bottom line.
Paul David with a $5 super chat. Hey, Drew, can I get a link to the Super Bowl review show? By the way, go Niners, beat Taylor Swift and the Chiefs.
I'm rooting for the Niners as well, and I probably won't be doing a post show for the Super Bowl as it's going to get off at like 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
And I have people here, so I'll give you a prediction show maybe the night before or something. I don't know. We'll see.
Isaac P with a $4.99. Have Punk talk some sense into Cody like Edge did to Cena after he lost to The Rock and got beat up by Brock in 2012. Go back and watch the promo. Yeah, I'm not giving WWE the benefit of the doubt there. They're not going to do that.
You know what's interesting? CM Punk's promo is like very prophetic.
Yeah. It's like almost,
Now
it's like he had a crystal ball out there.
Yeah, it's like he basically told them like, hey, this is what's going to happen to you.
It's a work, man. No. Sorry. Jericho with a 20. Thank you, brother. Imagine if they rushed to do Rock Cena at WrestleMania 27 instead of 28. One of the reasons their Mania 28 match was huge is because they built money and press for the match over a year. There's more money behind Rock Roman long term. Yeah.
I'm with you, but how many times have they done that in history? They got lucky.
Yeah.
They got lucky that none of those guys got hurt. I mean, The Rock, you know.
Didn't he tear a hernia?
Yeah, and then Cena, like, wrestled full time. I mean, he tears his Achilles or an MCL or rips the pectoral muscle off his bone. That match is off.
The one thing I will say, you know, for all the people saying Rock is going to be gassed after 5 minutes, if we know anything about Roman works a very slow, methodical match. I think he's going to take care of Dwayne out there. It's not going to be great or exciting, but, you know, it'll be fine.
Yeah, you're not getting a 5-star classic from him, but I mean, I think The Rock will be, I think they'll give him a couple rings to train in if he needs to.
Jason Barker with a $100 bomb. Thank you, Jason, as always. This is the magic that makes this show head and shoulders above the rest. The debate is what I'm clamoring for. I would do Cody Rhodes getting the win at Madison Square Garden because Dusty held it up before it was taken from him. That's if The Rock vs. Roman is locked in.
Just imagine that. They've taken everything away from Cody. And then he finally gets the moment at Madison Square Garden. And his dad's picture's on the screen. Magic.
Yeah. Packing Heat with a 5. If they have a triple threat, Drew should win, Priest cash in, Seth can't take another L to Cody, and Cody should not touch that title. Absolutely.
I agree. And I think Seth's going away for a little bit. Seth shouldn't be wrestling at WrestleMania, but we're past that now.
He should definitely get surgery. Lenny Brandenburg with a $4.99. The Rock killed the DC Universe so bad they had to reboot it. Batista and Cena are better actors than him anyway. Also, fuck Terramana. Come on, man. Terramana's some good... I mean, I'm not a tequila guy, but I'll drink some Terramana. Whatever. What are you laughing at?
People are just so mad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, bro, they sent bro, they sent death threats to Ava Rain, man. She deleted her Twitter account.
Whoa. I'm not laughing at that. That's dumb.
No, I'm just saying that's how fucking terrible it's gotten.
Yeah, that's dumb.
Ridiculous.
But I'm boycotting Terramana, and I'm boycotting Zoa, and I'm boycotting
I'm not watching WrestleMania, man. Yes, you are, man. Shut the fuck up.
Sure you're not. Shit.
And if you're not watching WrestleMania, you're going to be right here on Sunday watching me do it. We're going to be here Tuesday watching Drew and I do our thing. Come on, man.
Right. Nobody cares about MSG. Bruh. Cody has mentioned MSG like 16 times since he's been back. So clearly your hero does.
How much we fill in MSG, man? What, 18,000?
Yeah, with a small stage, you could do 19,000, 20, easy.
Hey, listen, just get us there. Just get us there. Yeah. Don Parker with a $10 super chat. Happy birthday, JD. You have to give credit to Drew. He warned us that Dwayne could do this days before it happened here on OTS. Rock said, fuck them fans, pay me. Yes, Vince 2.0 and literally good shit, pal. Well, I mean, it's not difficult to see and read between the lines, man. I mean, we've been pretty much spot on about a lot of shit, but I mean, business-wise, Drew makes a lot of sense here. You can't really deny that. Tristan Johnson with a $5 super chat. My first ever super chat. Happy birthday, JD. I will be celebrating mine tomorrow. Well, happy birthday, brother. Enjoy it.
Happy birthday.
Cozy Cleveland with a $9.99. Drew, months ago you said we could be looking at a case where Damian tries to cash in but fails due to JD McDonald's giving him the purple case. Is that still on the table and something we can see?
I hope DIY takes the tag team titles off of Finn and Priest and the cracks start to form. And we have, maybe the match with Finn and Priest at WrestleMania. That would be cool for me. I would love to see Priest's attempt at cashing in fail. But at this point, I'm not sure we get it just because Cody can't win that championship and Seth can't retain.
Yeah. Chris Ott with a $4.99. If book right, Sammy versus Gunther would be insane. The ultimate underdog versus the final boss on Raw. I'm here for it. Listen, man, I don't know if they're going to go Jimmy J. I don't think that needs the title. But Sammy going after Gunther and beating Gunther for the IC title, I'm all for it, man. I still have a fucking small part of me that thinks Big E's coming back, but I'm not completely sold on it. But if Big E comes back, I'm okay with that too. Because it's got to play into this New Day stuff, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, do you think Sammy's above the Intercontinental Championship right now, or has Gunther done such a good job building that back up?
Well, I mean, if Sammy wants to project himself into the world title picture, I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's going right to Gunther anyway. You're going to move him up to that level anyway, so that's the next in line. So why not give Sammy the title that Gunther's holding? I don't know. That's the way I think. That's the way I see it. I don't know. Buck's Basement with a $4.99. If the match is Rock and Roman, that Philly crowd can absolutely destroy the match and the Rock. He's not going to like being booed out of the stadium. Well, Meltzer says he doesn't give a shit if he's booed or cheered. It doesn't matter. It's all business.
Because at the end of the day, you know what matters? Those checks clear into his bank account.
The Mercedes money.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Ott with a $9.99. I also want to say this. I was at the Rumble. When Cody won, the crowd went wild. When he pointed at Roman, we exploded too. It crushes seeing what happened since. Yeah. Everybody, a lot of people feel that way, man. And there are people that are pro Rock and Roman. But I think people want to see things play out the right way in chronological order. I know Rock and the whole Bloodline thing, we've been building to it, but Cody, I mean, they've been building from WrestleMania 39 all these months. Look at what Cody's done. It led to Roman. Now you're going to take him out of it and have him wait more longer. But if we get MSG, maybe it'll be worth it in the end. I don't know.
I'm going to say this, whether you love me or hate me, whether you love JD or hate me, thank you for watching from the bottom of my heart. And I'm going to say this too. What's so beautiful about this, truthfully, is that everybody's talking about it and everybody has an opinion on what they do and don't want to see. That's awesome. Because when you don't care, the shit sucks.
Yeah.
So thank you for caring one way or another.
That's a good point. Deontay Smith with the $2 Super Chat. Should Nia Rhea main event the Elimination Chamber? No. Not at all. Nathan Norland with a 10. Back again, guys. OTS for life. I hate to say it, but with everything going on, do you think the Royal Rumble moving forward is ruined? Like how JD says, just another gimmick pay-per-view opinion. Now, the Royal Rumble's not ruined. I mean, the Royal Rumble is still the Royal Rumble, but I'm just disappointed that they didn't think about the legacy of the Royal Rumble by what they did on Friday. They like Drew said, I said it all week, they fucked the Rumble, and Drew said they fucked the Rumble, and not only that, and the Chamber.
Yeah.
Like, come on, guys.
Creatively wise, yes.
Nathan with a 5. Thank you for the 15, Nathan. Also, Drew, hope everything's going well with your daughter, and what a live audio you had on X after SmackDown. LOL, I was listening.
Yeah.
What happened over there? Somebody got castrated?
No. My daughter is doing very, very well. Thank you for asking. We had 1,500 live on a whim for Spaces, so I appreciate that very much. And yeah, I mean, there was a lot of good points. Blake Mitchmore was kind of the person who did the genesis here of like Roman getting to a certain date and having it on Friday the 13th to SmackDown, and it kind of bled into some other things. Listen, a lot of people, shout out to Blake, shout out to Ellis, a lot of people I've seen on social media will literally take what myself and JD have said on this show or elsewhere and pull it off as their own. Bad.
Yeah.
Like verbatim. Bad.
Yeah, we've seen it happen quite a few times, actually. It's amazing, man, the numbers you did on the Spaces, and then I had more people on Friday for this fucking mishap with Rock than I did for the Vince McMahon resignation.
Well, crazy. You're the guy for that. Like, you are the voice of the, in my opinion, the internet wrestling community. So when all this happened, I knew you were going to do massive numbers. So I'm happy for you.
Chris with a $4.99. What's up, guys? Great show as always. I got a little teary-eyed when Drew pictured Cody winning the championship at MSG. I would buy tickets for that.
Me too. Not teary-eyed, but I would buy tickets for it.
Meet and greet at a nice cocktail bar before the show.
Hell yeah. Old fashions all day. And martinis.
Yeah. Three Kings with a $4.99. How do you guys feel about Cody being indecisive about Seth or Roman, and Drew works injures him to get him out of the picture, or someone from the bloodline? Cody being indecisive about Seth Roman, I didn't like that either. I mean, he should go. He already pointed at Roman, and it is now being indecisive. But we know that why they did that is because Punk got injured, and they wanted to create some intrigue and make Rollins Championship look a little prestigious. Then they did the Rock thing on Friday and blew all that up.
Shout out to Pedialyte. Make sure you guys get some official sponsors with myself and JD now with TNT. Get yourself some Pedialyte. Yeah, I mean, we can go that route. Make sure you stay hydrated, though.
Yeah, I didn't do that today. So, MGM97 with a $1.99. Cook, Drew, you won this debate today.
You know what? There's no winning and losing. Like I said, here's the deal. We're all talking about it. You guys and girls are talking about it, and that's what's so important to the wrestling business. That you guys and girls are talking about it, and you have an opinion one way or another. Because otherwise, shit, like I said, would suck.
Yeah. Tanvir with a $9.99. This whole Rock situation blows, but something positive I'd like to talk about is NXT Vengeance Day. Loved it, and I think Ilya vs. Trick was amazing. Mello turn was great. What was your guys' thoughts? I thought the show was a 5 out of 10. I thought the ladies did very well, and Trick Williams and Ilya was a great match. And I love Dijak. Dijak is my guy.
I watched the main event. I thought the turn was fantastic, but I had the Grammys on for the most part.
Yeah.
So,
Rico Daddy with a 2. My guess, triple threat, Roman Sheets to win. No. No, Roman doesn't cheat to win. If Cody's in the match, Cody's winning the title. Simple. MGM Ballin with a 100. Thank you, brother. Happy birthday, my brother. Exactly 1 week after mine. Here's to you guys and Jesse for keeping me entertained when stress takes over. Can't thank you guys enough. I love the channel is growing at a crazy pace. It's well-deserved. P.S. We want Cody. Thank you, Ballin. We are, Drew and I are happy that you are here on Tuesday nights, man. Chris with a 199. Happy birthday, JD. Cheers. Thank you, Chris. TK Banks with a 5. Remember when Ari Emanuel said, let the people with the job title actually do their job. Then in comes Dwayne, and it all changes. Well, I mean they got to bend over backwards to appease Mr. Johnson, you know. It's going to happen. AEW Mark with a 2. Camille is signing with AEW. She pulled out of the WWE contract. I'm not really familiar with Camille, but I know she's physically impressive. But if AEW is signing Camille, clearly they're building their women's division. I just hope that they know what to do with them. Honestly. Mercedes is going to hopefully whip them all into shape. Edward Liu with a 199. JD played Final Fantasy VII Rebirth demo yet? Your thoughts? I played part 1. I'm a first-day buyer for part 2. Haven't played it yet. Christopher Holloway with a 20. Rock's had multiple top opportunities to do this match with Roman, the obvious being 39, but I believe Mania 38 would have been the best deal with Austin and Rock main eventing both nights that year. Rock can wait. I mean, yeah, it made sense in 39, but like Drew said, I don't know what The Rock's doing next year. You might not get him. And that's the narrative for The Rock and Roman people. You got him now, do it.
Yep, you have the opportunity to pull the trigger.
Jared Howard at 2. John Laurinaitis is working for the FBI for immunity. He basically admitted that Vince did what he did while throwing him under the bus, but
yeah, that was no good, Johnny. It was no good. The rats are going to scurry, obviously, but man, that was no good.
Cozy Cleveland with a 199. Happy birthday, JD. What the fuck are you drinking? I had an old fashioned earlier, but thanks for asking, brother. Jamal Turney with a 499. Because Cody is not Samoan, they can't do 2 nights. That's dumb.
The whole story is The Rock saving Roman and his The Rock saving his family from Roman's tyrannical run. I mean, The Rock is not coming for the Universal Championship. He's coming for everything else. I mean, it's not dumb. Cody's not Samoan.
Phantom 67 with a Kanata 100 in Super Chat. Thank you, Phantom. He says, happy birthday, JD. Phantom, thank you, man. Michael Crowley with a 5. Rock buried Cody in the same desert that Bill buried the Fiend. Vincent Kennedy McCrock, creator of the Unhappy Meal, complete with the big ego and no toy. You guys
That's creative.
You guys are crazy, though. Yeah, the Fiend, that was one of the worst decisions ever. Ever.
Oh, yeah. It was bad.
Chris, $9.99. Mania is where stars are made and is simple to book. Cody and LA Knight are the new guys. They should have been traded for each other, with Cody going for the WWE title and LA Knight going for the world title. LA Knight's going to get there, but I think him and Logan Paul are a right choice for WrestleMania. And that is going to be a big deal for him.
Mm-hmm.
Phantom with another 20. Got here at the end. I will watch on replay. I can't say what I think about The Rock. Too many bad words. Take it easy, bro. It's not that serious. Don't lose sleep over it. Jake Shepsky with a $1.99. Do you guys see Cena and Stone Cold Steve Austin showing up for WrestleMania? I don't think so.
Do I think Stone Cold's going to show up for WrestleMania? No. Not now.
Miggy Saito with a super chat. Drew, thoughts on Bayley getting betrayed?
I loved it. I thought the storyline was fantastic. I thought the way that they built it was fantastic. That was great, Again, I thought it was executed perfectly. A lot of people are like, they kind of telegraphed it with the backstage stuff. The fact that Bayley, said that she could speak Japanese or understood Japanese, is a nice little caveat. I liked it.
Three Kings with a $9.99. I could buy a double Roman main event if the first night versus Rock. Bloodline turns on him for ego tripping since they won't jump him, but he ends up winning clean. Now he has no one on his side versus Cody. I mean, that's the way I had originally booked it. Where the Roman Empire crumbles at WrestleMania. But, again, we'll find out Thursday. I don't think that Cody's going to be added. I think Drew kind of sold me on the fact that McIntyre is going to be added to this thing with Cody and Seth. So we'll see what happens.
Read between the lines. Why is Drew McIntyre messing with Cody?
Yeah. Fallen Exposure with a 5. After everything Roman has done, why not double book him? He's never faced a challenge like this. He's the man. What would Brett do? Happy birthday. Well, Brett would wrestle fucking up and down the card all night long if he asked him to.
Yep.
Kal-El with a 10. Feliz Cumpleaños, JD. Thank you, brother. Just going to see how this works out. Yes. You guys are great. You guys are great. I want you three to do a podcast. JD, Jesse, and Drew. Mustangs and Dark Horses rule. Jesse is on Wednesday specifically. But thanks for asking, Kal-El. You can see me and Jesse on Wednesdays. This is our show. John Pina with a $4.99. Happy birthday, JD. You're the best in the IWC. Thank you, man. Thank you for entertaining us with your honesty and passion. We love you and Drew, TNT for life. Thank you, John. John and Mom. Thank you, Mom. Furious Nation with a $9.99. What's up, guys? Happy birthday, JD. Hope you had a good one. Thursday is going to be very interesting. Vegas better be loud for Cody and Boo the Rock. We want Cody. I think that'll be very vocal. I think there's, what'd you say? It's open to the general public, right?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah, they're going to tout something, but I wouldn't be surprised to get 5, 6, 7,000 there. It's just crazy.
Tone C, 11 months. Thank you, brother. Happy birthday. AEW Mark, $2 Super Chat. New streaming service got announced. Happy birthday. Yeah, we didn't touch that tonight because I want to read more into that. Yeah. Well, yeah, your initial thoughts on that. I know you read that.
I read the Wall Street Journal article. I think it's massive, to have the NFL, the NBA, the NHL, all this stuff under one umbrella. I think it's massive. I think it opens the door for AEW and their pay-per-views being a part of that. And I think what this does is kind of tells Netflix, like, hey, you're not, just because you're kicking the tires with WWE doesn't mean you're getting any of this other content, because we're going to beat you guys to it. I think that's it.
KJ Amore with a 99 cents. Thank you, KJ. Phantom, 6 months, half of effing year. Woohoo. Thank you, brother. On your way to a golden microphone emote. Thank you. Anthony Hayes, 199. Happy birthday, JD, the greatest to do it. Thank you, Anthony. I'm not, but thank you. Nathan Norland with a 5. Happy birthday to the man in all of the IWC. Hope you had a great day, bro. Much love. Thank you, Nathan. Nation with a $4.99. Also wanted to say WrestleMania starting early at 6:37 I think is a good idea, and I'm glad Triple H thinks like that. Like you would say, JD, quality over quantity. Yeah, I think Triple H does book with that mindset, and I like it.
Yeah, and again, I think Triple H was kind of railroaded with some of the things he wanted to do at WrestleMania.
Yeah. KJ Amore with a $1.99. Drew, who do you think TKO's new chairman is going to be? They already have him.
I don't know. Yeah.
Who do you think took Vince's spot? Dwayne. Stephen Brewer with the 1999. Happy birthday, JD. Prayers to friends and family of Toby Keith. Good to hear Jim Ross is recovering well from surgery. Yes. Thoughts and prayers and love to Jim Ross. Yeah. D'Angelo Hayes with a 10. Happy birthday, JD. Sending you a shot of 103 proof bullet trace. Oh, not bullet trace. Buffalo trace. I'm sorry. Bullet. I love bullet. I was thinking of bullet. Whenever you take a trip to Michigan, I'll have to take you to a few breweries and brick oven pizza spots. I would love that, D'Angelo. Thank you. And Buffalo Trace is one of my favorites. Lena with an 18 months. Happy birthday, JD. Cheers to you and Drew. Did you hear about Rossi Ogawa getting fired from Stardom? Crazy times in the wrestling world. Yeah, I mean, it's not my wheelhouse, so I didn't really talk about it, but there's some slimy shit going on in all aspects of pro wrestling. But what are you going to do? You know, Tony made fun of him. Tony was gloating that he got fired, but petty Tony Khan, man, when he comes out, it's tough to stop him. Muhammad with a 2. Did JD ever check out the Spider-Man 2 game? No. I barely have time to sleep. Never mind video games lately. Vinny with a 199. They killed 3 gimmick pay-per-views under Triple H. Royal Rumble, Money in the Bank, and Elimination Chamber. I mean, I don't blame Triple H for none of this. Stop blaming Triple H. Okay? It's not his fault. Alex, what were you going to say?
No, I mean, you can call this breaking news. You can call it whatever you want. I think, truthfully, that Triple H, I think that Ari Emanuel, The Rock, and Nick Khan are taking booking, creativity, directions away from Triple H.
Yeah. Jason Lashley with a 20. JD, happy birthday, bro. Thank you, brother. What's good, Drew? Not a fan of Roman wrestling twice. If Cody's facing him on night 2, if Roman beats The Rock on night 1, it seems like a heel move and makes Cody look weak. Roman has a built-in excuse. Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I think the WWE is taking a lot of notice here with Cody, and they're kind of like, maybe de facto looking at this like a yes movement. I just don't think this takes place at WrestleMania. Cody, getting his shot. And for me, Thursday's going to be interesting. I do believe that WrestleMania will take place in Vegas at 41 or 42, 41 probably. So I think there's a lot that's going to happen on Thursday. We'll get our answers, man.
Alex, WWE will go with Cody versus Roman, but Stipp will beat Rock ref. Rock will screw Cody and kayfabe explanation. Rock gives title, stays in the family. No, but it's fun to fantasy book though, Alex. Edmund with the 17 months. Happy birthday, JD. Question: do y'all think this Vince situation actually goes to trial, or do all parties get settled? I think it actually does go to trial. I know she said that she wants to basically make her voice heard and stand up for all women everywhere. Vince, him buying his way out, I think has reached the end. And if they got to get rid of who they got to get rid of, man, I hope they drain the swamp, honestly. A buyout. I could see a buyout happening, but I don't think it's going to go that route. Mohammed.
Yeah, I think they're gonna settle.
Yeah. Well, I won't be surprised. Mohammed with a 2. Happy birthday, JD. 42. Damn, you're getting old. Thanks, bro. I don't feel it, but thank you. Cal L with a 5. LOL. I'm boycotting OTS till tomorrow night, pal. Mustangs and Dark Horses rule. These people make me laugh with their hate. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Jason with a 2. Drew, I asked JD. There a chance you are in T-Dot for Money in the Bank?
Oh, I'd love to be in Toronto.
Is that what they call it, T-Dot?
Yeah, let's get it done. I'd love to.
I've never been. I'd love to go.
Love Toronto. Toronto's a great city.
Theme parks and things with Johnny, $5. Not going to happen, but imagine Cody does face Roman, beats him, fireworks and everything, then bomb. Damien cashes in on a tired Cody that just won. No.
Wait. What?
Cody losing the title to Damian Priest on a cash-in? No. Come on, guys.
Are we talking about Roman's title?
Yeah.
No.
KD Limitless with a 1. Thank you, KD. Chris with a 4.99. Question for Drew. If WWE does the MSG show, when would it be? Somewhere in October? I would be down for a meet and greet. Drinks on me.
Well, we'll hold you to that. Just kidding. But October, the NBCU deal for SmackDown, media rights, and 4 specials starts in October. So you could literally book that for Saturday night's main event. WWE will be needing some hot content and a giant, great publicity and hot button topic, and that will be Cody finishing his story at Madison Square Garden.
Phil with a 4.99. Happy birthday, JD. This channel of pro wrestling have always been a great escape for me, even when days don't always go my way. Stay safe and love TNT. Thank you, Phil. As always, man. Will Federico with the 199. Happy birthday, JD. You and Drew are great. Thank you, Will.
Thank you.
Clone Force with a 499. I'm still heated about what happened on Friday, and Rock Backlash is going to get him because he wasn't expecting this to happen. Cody versus Roman, prayer emoji. We'll see Thursday, brother.
We'll see Thursday. I know that WWE's taking notice of it. So.
Also, WrestleMania 40 is already sold out. They don't need The Rock. They don't. But Dwayne thinks otherwise. Packing Heat with a $5 super chat. If we get Roman and Rock at Mania, where does Solo stand since he was appointed by the elders? I don't know. It's a good question. I don't think Randy Orton is a match for Solo at WrestleMania. I think that would be awful.
I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see.
Leah Zimmerman with a 2. Happy birthday, JD, from Leah and Ted. Thank you guys very much. Anthony Hayes with a 199. JD, is TKO secretly pushing Triple H out the door? I would like to think not, honestly, but clearly things have shifted. And for what reason, I don't know.
It seems like things have really shifted.
Yeah. And Jason Barker with a 5. I got my golden microphone at around Bash at Berlin. That's coming up soon, brother. Thank you very much for all your support. That is the end of the line here. Guys, the support tonight was absolutely out of this world tremendous. Thank you guys very much. Drew and I thank you tremendously. Drew, any parting words before we get out of here?
No, again, remember, moments are, creative decisions and everything else like that. I get it. Like, getting us invested in something is one thing, but the moments are made when you could both physically and emotionally get invested into a match or a program. That's when memories are made. We're all talking about it. We're talking whether we support Cody, we support The Rock, we want to see this match or that match. That's what's important. Keep talking about the product. Keep the industry and the business healthy. It's what this is all about, because when you don't care, none of these companies flourish and they don't have to make decisions. Keep making them make hard decisions.
Yeah, I agree. Will Chisholm with a 5. With WWE having Jordan Grace at the Rumble, we know it's Triple H's idea, but does TKO sign off on it? Yeah, they sign off on everything, man. I mean, Triple H has to answer Nick Khan and Dwayne Johnson are Emmanuel. So, yeah, of course they know everything. But thank you guys very much for all of your support. We will be back next Tuesday with episode 35. Next time you see me, we'll be live tomorrow night with Jesse. AEW Dynamite should be a big show. Wrestling with Respect with the 499. Happy birthday, JD. Any chance we see a multi-man ladder match for the United States title at Mania? And you have brought it up in the past, chances of Gunther and Cena. No Gunther, Cena, and I think LA Knight gets Logan Paul at WrestleMania. Guys, thank you very much. Continue to hit that thumbs up. Go check out all the other content on the channel. And Drew and I will see you next week right here for more Tuesday Night Titans. We'll see you later.